All right, add to stream. So here's me. You're still there, right?
Yep.
All right, that's Padres. Let me get the share screen going so people can follow along a little bit. We are starting Week 1 matchup preview for the ABL. We are going to start in the NL East because the Braves were the first team. As we all know, I've never played in a league, and I don't think you probably have either, where you have multiple head-to-head matchups each week.
Right.
But I like the idea. It lets you get more games in and stuff. So
sure, more the better.
Yeah, more better. For a big dynasty league like this, it cuts the variance a little bit too, instead of just 26 matchups or whatever it is, you got a chance to maybe have a less than stellar week, but not get killed because you had a good week but ran into the one guy that had the better week, like kind of happens in football a lot of times.
Yeah.
Can be the top scoring team, but then still get punked by the one guy that you happen to run into that week that did better. So let's start with the Braves in the NL East. He's got 3 matchups this week. He plays the Rays, he plays the Marlins, he plays the A's. So a little interleague action for the Braves happening. Let's look at the matchup with the Rays first. Does anything immediately stick out to you for one side or the other? The Rays right now, they're probably not going to keep Sonny Gray in there. So you have to kind of look at his bench because that's a pretty big piece to his lineup, and it's not looking like he has maybe Hauser he goes with. He's got Stripling, but nobody to replace Sonny Gray type production. So that's going to sting to open the week.
Yeah, Braves maybe really like the pitching.
Yeah, if Sonny Gray was healthy, I would definitely like the Rays pitching a little bit over the Braves. Knowing that Dustin May is going to be in the rotation has got to be nice for the Week 1 matchup for the Braves. I don't know what the Austin Voth, is he rotation bound? Track says he's set to open the season in a long relief role, which could still be pretty valuable in a league like this, but he's not going to get a start out of him probably.
Yeah, you could vulture a win.
Oh yeah, easily. And innings. I mean, those guys are not going to be bums in a league like this. So he looks like he's got at least 3. He's got Senzatela, Pivetta, May, 3 solid starters. The Rays only look to have, well, if you count Hauser, he is one, right? He's in that rotation. Slated to start the Brewers' 3rd game of the season on April 4th. So yeah, he's in the rotation. He'll be in there. Clark Schmidt definitely not going to be in there. But not a whole lot else. Rays pitching is thin.
Yeah, it's actually pretty even maybe with the pitching.
So what about the offense? I don't know a lot about Ryan Jeffers, the twin catcher that the Braves has. I guess I'm a Tucker Barn. If I'm given an edge in catcher, a lot of these catchers to me are like the same guy. But if I'm given an edge to anybody there, I guess I give it to Tucker Barnhart. Just because I don't really know.
To give that guy some time. Jeffers, he's supposed to share some time.
Yeah. With who? With who else? Mitch Garver? Yeah, Mitch. I don't know. And it's like the same thing at first base for me. Colin Moore and Garrett Cooper, to me, they're almost about the same guy there as well. Just like on a flat, like a flat value wise, like what do I think they're going to do in this matchup? I reckon they'll probably do about the same without digging into who each of these guys is facing, every game or whatever, because I don't want to do that. But I don't know. I mean, it's pretty much a wash at first base for me. I should keep track of these, actually. Wash at catcher, wash at first. Second base, you see a real advantage finally for one side over the other. The Rays have Ozzie Albies. Braves are starting Kim. So you got to give the nod to Albies.
Yeah.
And then also at third base, the Rays have Rendon. The Braves are starting Jimenez, who is making the club, right? Like he is going to be, appears to have secured the everyday shortstop job. But still, you got to give it to Rendon. And then also at shortstop, you've got to give it to the Rays with Trevor Story over, I'm not even sure who Ramon Urias is.
Get a utility role.
General manager said Saturday that Urias and Pat Valleca are the primary candidates to start at second base. So they got rid of Yolmer. They got rid of my guy Yolmer for this guy I've never really heard of and former real-life Rocky, Pat Valleca. So that's why Yolmer is not on that team. All right. So the infield definitely goes advantage Rays against the Braves. This is the Braves thing, not the Rays, but advantage Rays on the infield, right? You can't disagree with that.
That's right.
Yeah. Now, outfield, I probably swing the other way. There's no probably about it. Yelich, Marte, Starling Marte, and Mazzara up against Ian Happ, Byron Buxton, Santander, who may or may not be starting the season on the IL. He's got an oblique. Even if he was completely healthy, outfield still goes to the Braves, like by a pretty significant.
Yeah. Well, what if Yelich starts slow like he did all of last year?
Oh yeah, but I mean, you can say that about it. All of these guys. Like, well, if this whole team starts slow, just looking at what you think is probably going more likely to happen. I think the Braves outfield is outscoring the Rays outfield. But if Byron Buxton hits 5 home runs, utility. Now this is interesting to me. What is your take on Pujols versus Brandon Crawford in the U spot?
Old Albert.
Yeah, what you think Albert's better than Crawford?
Oh, I don't know. Some are saying that Albert should have stopped playing a couple years ago.
5 years ago, yeah, 5 or 6 years ago. Are you one of the people that thinks Albert's really way older than he is?
I don't know. No, I probably wouldn't guess that he's way over. Is he a little over? Maybe, yeah.
He, because we watched him from the very beginning in St. Louis, and he did always just seem to look, like when he was like 26 or whatever, he looked like he was like 35.
Yeah.
He just looked like an older kind of dude. Maybe he really was, or maybe that's just how he looks. He does seem to have broken down rather quickly. The bench, I don't want to get into the bench too much. A lot of these guys on most of these teams are going to be fairly irrelevant for the first couple weeks, aside from maybe the pitchers. I do like the Rays pitching bench over the Braves, just like depth-wise. He's got a few more guys that he'll be able to cycle in there, like reliever-wise. Buttrey. Oh, what's the deal with Buttrey? Oh no, option to minor league camp. So he's wow. I didn't know that. Didn't see that coming really. So really, it's just Stripling and Hauser and Sandoval, who is probably going to be a reliever. What about Kyle Cody? What's the Kyle Cody deal? Informed that he's making the opening day roster for the Rangers. Still, I'm going to give pitching bench nods to the Rays. I don't know. It sounds like I'm giving the week one nod to the Rays over the Braves on the strength of the pitching mostly.
Yeah, I'll give him a slight nod.
But that that infield too, the Rendon, Story, Albies, triple threat, maybe carries the offense more than the Yelich Marte can make up for. I think I like the Rays with that matchup. Put it on the board. Rays. All right, what about Braves? Marlins. So we're familiar with the Braves. So Ryan Jeffers against the Marlins, Tony's Marlins, Yan Gomes.
Braves too? Oh, Marlins. Okay. There it is.
Yeah, Braves, Marlins. Ryan Jeffers, Yan Gomes. Who's even going to get more at-bats, in this 11-day sample? It's probably just whoever's going to get more ABs, right?
I suppose so.
Of these two guys. Who is behind me? Oh, shit. That's it's Jeff Goldblum and a monkey, some kind of monkey that hangs on my garage wall. That's Jeff Goldblum. And he's got like some kind of animal thing. I think it's a shower curtain. I don't know. We've had it for a couple of years. It used to hang in our apartment wall, but it's been relegated to the garage. How about, all right, so Garrett Cooper, the Marlin first baseman, but playing for the Braves against Jesus Aguiar. Who do you like there?
Yeah.
Another one that's kind
Aguiar,
of
a little bit, I guess.
yeah, maybe another one that's kind of out. They're both the first baseman on the same team, so it's like, who's gonna get more ABs, I guess.
Right.
The Braves again starting Ha-Sung Kim at second base, with the Marlins starting Josh Harrison, who I think is going to be the Nats' second baseman. Like he's supposed to get the everyday ABs. They're playing Starlin at third and Harrison at second. So I don't know who I like. I mean, Kim's in the better lineup. The Padre lineup is better than the Nat lineup. But is he supposed to start the year getting regular ABs? I don't think so.
Yeah, not that I'm aware of.
Track says that was 7 days ago, but he was working out in the outfield as well. So maybe he's just going to be like a super utility. Maybe he will get regular ABs. Looks like his.
Now, the next guy is the guy who's supposed to get regular ABs. They're saying now, David Bodie.
Bodie? Yeah, Tony loves Bodie. And Tony and I actually have Bodie as our third baseman in an NL only. And he's going to be playing second for the Cubs. So he's only third eligible right now, but he probably pretty shortly will open up second base eligibility.
Yeah, second base.
Yeah. And what I don't even remember, 5 games. 5 games for ABL, I think, for a new position. So he could have that by, the end of the first matchup. Could be playing second base for the Marlins. Shortstop, man, I got to give it to Willy Adames over Ramon Urias because I just don't know anything about this guy. Ramon Urias, I guess he had 25 ABs with a homer, 3 ribbies, and 3 runs, no steals. I just don't know anything about him. 2 doubles and a homer. So no offense to Jake's Braves or anything. I just don't know anything about this guy, so I'm going to give the nod to Adames. The outfield, of course, Yelich, Marte, Mazzara, I think sticks it pretty good to Michael Taylor, Robles, and Sam Hilliard, even though I like Hilliard, especially this first week, even when they're at Coors. I was just saying in the Discord that Colorado Springs, I know, was getting a bunch more snow today, like just this morning. So Coors isn't really going to be Coors right away. It's been really cold. Yeah, it's chilly. It's snowy. Somebody had mentioned earlier, we're probably going to see, like we tend to do early in the year, games either suspended or postponed because of lousy cold weather. Some of those games could easily be in Coors the way that it's been snowing lately. Like here today on the other side of the state, I think we got up to like 50, but the wind that's blowing through is still plenty cold. And that's just blowing through to the other side of the mountains. That's what they're going to be playing in. So outfield again, Braves win the outfield battle. And I mean, the infield battle is pretty it's going to be a battle. That's what it's actually going to be. I can't say I like one of these infields way better than the other. The pitching, I do like the Braves front three, May, Pivetta, Senzatela over Flexen, Lyles, and Stratton of the Marlins.
Yes, they get the pitching nod.
Yeah, the Braves get the starting pitching nod. The relief pitching nod, Castillo's in the saves picture for Tampa Bay. Melanson's in the saves picture for San Diego. I like Helsley as a holds guy. Givens could potentially get saves in Colorado, but I think they're going to go with Bard. I guess I give a slight nod to the Braves just by the weight of having two guys that are probably in for saves, and then Voth could easily have one of those games where he throws 3 or 4 innings in long relief. And like you said, Vulture's a win and get some Ks or something, so he could actually have a decent 11-day week. Blake Taylor, I don't know what his deal is. Astros bullpen, but he's not going to be leveraged probably, at least not right away. So yeah, maybe a slight bullpen overall pitching nod to the Braves. I think this will be a decent matchup.
There's some more pitching on the Marlins bench.
Ooh, and Dan Vogelbach. Boy, that's got to crush Tony, having Mercado and Kingery both sent down is a big blow. And Bradley, for that matter. I mean, guys that we probably most of us thought would be on the major league team. Oh, yeah, he's got Rich Hill. He's got Lucchesi, who – so Lucchesi will follow an opener, so he's going to be like a long relief, kind of like we were just saying that Voth could be. Man, I like Lucchesi. I'm a fan of his. And he's got Logan Allen, Rich Hill, Gisselman, Fulmer. Yeah, maybe, man.
Good Logan Allen.
That might be – yeah, good Logan. Yeah, good Logan Allen. I like Trevor Rogers. Well, that might tip the pitching a little bit to the Marlins, actually. I was given the slight nod to the Braves, but
hey, note on the Braves. There's a couple of guys on this bench that have made the big league club that could be seen in the lineup.
Well, his hitting bench?
Yeah, the Bowers and how do you say this? Badu?
Yeah, and
made the Detroit game.
Yeah, and Bowers is going to be the starting first baseman for the Indians. Yeah, geez, I guess if I was if you're the Braves, do you start Bowers or Garrett Cooper?
Well, he'll have a decision to make.
I mean, he doesn't have to. It's not a weekly.
Decision.
Yeah, it's not a weekly lineup, so it's not like he has to lock it in and then ride it. But still, like if he was gonna start one or the other on a daily, I don't know. I kind of like. I was big on Bowers a couple years ago, like when he was still a Ray. I thought he had a lot more potential than he did, and then he came to Cleveland and sucked. So, yeah.
People were big on him a couple years ago, yeah.
Cooper's not bad. I mean, he's really not a bad.
He's not a bum.
No. Yeah, probably I'm starting Cooper until Bowers shows you he can do something.
Well,
but
and the matchup too. Maybe it's a lefty-lefty, righty-lefty thingy.
I probably would start Bowers over Pujols. That's just me. If it was a weekly, I'm probably sticking Bowers in there over Pujols. Yeah, so maybe a nod to the Braves bats and maybe a slight nod to the Marlins pitching just because of the depth. I was giving it to the Braves first, but I kind of don't hate, just for this matchup, the Marlins pitching. Straw is my utility. Yeah, so Tony's hoping it's, Straw steals 7 bases in the first week, racks up those utility. Yeah, he's not going to start Rio Ruiz, I guess. He'll start Straw, or he'll start whoever's playing that day or whatever. But just for the sake of argument, this is going to be a tough matchup. It's going to probably come down to either the pitching or somebody like Yelich if he starts really hot, and you can rack up the points and carry a matchup for what is 2 pretty even teams. But if Tony's pitching depth kind of shines through a little bit, if Rich Hill makes a good start, or if he gets Lucchesi in there and he throws 3 or 4 good relief innings, same thing we were saying about Voth, that could go either way. Good matchup.
Yeah, looks like a pick 'em.
All right, how about Braves A's? So we're at this point getting pretty familiar with the Braves and at least what he has in there, right now. That doesn't obviously tell the whole story. The catcher matchup: Ryan Jeffers against Jonah Heim. Yeah. Heim will make the Rangers opening day roster.
How about that?
He was not good in the spring. He was 2 for 19 in the spring. Not that means much. I guess I'll probably give that nod to Jeffers. He's just on this the pedigree strength. I know that the Twins are a little higher on him. I say call it a slight edge. First base, Garrett Cooper and Big Rowdy. Rowdy will be included on the opening day roster. Very nice. Boy, facing after Garrett Cole, a pretty crappy Yankees pitching in New York. Man, Rowdy could have a big week. I don't know. Kind of another one of those where it's like, depends on who gets more at-bats. I just don't know what the plan is with like the Blue Jay lineup and Rowdy.
In general, they're pretty close, probably.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I even want to give a slight edge. Maybe give a slight edge just because I like Rowdy against the crappy, the not great Yankee pitching after Cole. Klubs has looked okay in the spring, but he's like topping out at 92. He's not the same Klubs of a few years ago. Maybe Rowdy hits a couple dongs. I don't know.
Shed Long will not be available to start the season.
Yeah, so let's see. He's got Kyle Isbell also to play second base, but that's it. So I think I have to give the second base nod. As of the 25th, 5 days ago, it said Isbell remains in the mix for an opening day roster spot. I don't know if he's got that spot or not. He still has the little M next to him on tracks. Ooh, Straw just cleared COVID today. Good for Miles Straw. I'm going to give it to Kim. I'm going to assume he's better than maybe literally nobody at second base for Oakland. He might have a hole in the lineup at second base. If Isbell doesn't make the team, maybe somebody can correct me. Maybe he already has, and I just didn't see it. God, I hate this chair I have to sit in. One of these stupid camping chairs. This is not what this was made for. Okay. I'm like slumping down. My posture is just terrible. Oh, you know what? I've been so stupid. Not letting guys see what I'm looking at, really. Where the hell were we? Oh, second base. Yeah, give second base nod to the Braves. The outfield, it's going to be hard for many people's outfields to run with Yelich and Marte. This is one that maybe could. Ozuna, Nimmo, and Kepler. And then, he could put Springer in there if he so was inclined. I don't know if Springer's going to play.
He has an oblique.
Yeah, grade 2. His readiness for opening day remains in doubt. Yeah. And that was just today, like this morning, they were saying that. So let's assume that he maybe is going to miss the first week or so. Still, Ozuna, Nimmo, Kepler is a pretty good outfield.
Grade 2, is that out of 5 or?
What was the we always bring up the infamous Woody Williams oblique from when he was a Cardinal, right? Like, and it kept him out for 4 months or whatever it was.
Yeah.
What was that? Was that different because he was a pitcher?
Was that? I don't know what grade he had.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It probably is different if you're a pitcher than him. But you would think, it's still like the same kind of stress on the upper body, swinging a bat and making throws and stuff and pitching a ball. It's not good either way. But he's in there for now, so he's in the U spot for now for Oakland, I should say. I like that, man. If you were picking Yelich, Marte, Mazzara, or Ozuna, Nimmo, Kepler? I think maybe I lean the A's because I like Nimmo in a points league. He draws a lot of walks. Marte doesn't really walk much. Yeah, I don't know.
Mazzara is probably the weak link. He's got something to prove, though. I don't know. It's pretty close.
Yeah, Kepler's right field. Kepler's way better than Mazzara, but the other two, I give the nod to Yelich over Ozuna. It's the Marte Nimmo, and really probably Marte is the better player, but in a points league, I like Nimmo. I do like him. It's probably Marte though.
Well, it's not huge Yelich over Ozuna. Ozuna, he's no slouch.
I don't know where I fall on Ozuna. He had the huge year in the 1 year where he was able to DH a bunch of the time. He didn't have to play the field at all. So I guess the theory is he got to conserve a lot of his strength and whatnot. And now this year, no DH. He's going to have to play the field every day. We might see, he's done it before. He's had good years before, but never the kind of short year he just had. Where he was like
interleague DH.
Well, yeah, but how much is that going to help? I don't know. I give a decent nod to Yelich over Ozuna. That's just me. The pitching, I like Oakland pitching over the Braves. I think just on its face, the relievers are better. Rainey, Jansen, Diekman. And really the top two, Keuchel and May.
Keuchel, he's terrific.
Yeah, Keuchel eats up the innings. May is first start. Well, I don't think it'll be in Colorado because he's like the 5-man, so it'll be wherever the Dodgers go after that. But Keuchel against the Angels and Montgomery over Pivetta. I think I like Montgomery over. I don't know if Pivetta pitches against Baltimore. That could be a decent start. But I like Suter over Senzatela, especially if Senzatela has to face the Dodgers. I say in cores, not that really makes a difference right now, but still just facing the Dodgers. And the relievers are pretty superior, at least to me, for Oakland in this matchup. I like Melanson. I have a lot of them in roto leagues. But I like Tanner Rainey a lot as well, and I think he could end up weaseling his way into saves in Washington. If Brad Hand opens the season pitching like he pitched in the spring, it's going to be Tanner Rainey getting those saves.
If his arm stays attached, that might happen.
Yeah. And Diekman will be a holds guy. If not, vulture a save or two when it's not Rosenthal. And Jansen, we know Jansen's deal. The A's just had Austin Nola. Did you see he's starting the year on the IL?
Yeah, but he's coming back soon. He's a good guy to have on your bench. Real good guy.
Well, geez, he'll probably, when he comes back, he'll probably be the starting catcher over Jonah Heim. He'll start Nola over him.
That's right.
This matchup is tough. I'll give it a slight nod to the A's just for the pitching. Because the offense, I think, is pretty even for these guys. the bench pitching, there's not a ton. Tyler Chatwood, he probably gets a start out of him. He's got Lamet down there, who, you know, we know the Dinelson Lamet stuff. He's got the Lizard King opening the year on the IL. Yeah, I probably give the nod to Oakland. So according to me, I think the Braves should go 1-2. Yeah, 1-2, or man, if those Marlins pitchers, he could start 0-3, but he could easily, with all these being slight, he could start 3-0. I mean, I think these are pretty good matchups.
I don't think he's a big underdog in any of them at all.
Yeah, I fear that I'm going to be saying that about a lot of these and not really give much insight here. Yeah, me and Padres, me and Pods on the phone. Sorry if I don't know how the acoustics are in my garage, if the speakerphone maybe isn't getting picked up on the mic very well, but this is what we're dealing with today for week 1. The week 1 recap will be back to normal, hopefully. Back in my usual setup, good lighting, good acoustics, etc. All right, so yeah, that's the Braves. The Braves they're okay. We yeah. It's hard for me to look at these matchups and be like, oh, this guy's gonna get his ass kicked. I think these are 3 pretty even matchups. I don't see like a huge edge for any one over the other, and the edges that we've really seen have been either the Braves outfield being far superior to the Rays and the Marlins, but then the pitching has usually been his downfall, it seems like. And maybe maybe Nick Pivetta comes through, and a lot of guys have been Nick Pivetta guys for a couple years now because he throws like 100 miles an hour, and how can't that be good? But if he sucks after Dustin May, you're leaning on Senzatela and some relievers and not much else for the pitching. He's got some pitching woes, the Braves do. Is Jose Urena gonna be in the Detroit rotation?
Not sure about that.
Yeah, so maybe he picks up some, a start or 2 there. Not a complete lost cause. He's pretty thin on pitching. So let's go. Who else is in the NL East? God, that feels like it took forever, and it was only one team. Oh my God. Let's go to the Marlins. We don't have to do.
Well, you don't have to do all 3.
Yeah, exactly. I just kind of realized that. Like, oh, we can go to the Marlins and not have to worry about that. So the Marlins Braves, we don't have to do. Oh, what the hell? It's not taking me to his other matchups. Give me the Marlins. Is Tony only playing the Braves this week? That would be funky. So I tell it to give me the Marlins, and then it gives me the Rockies up at the top. I don't know. Let's find. Boy, what a pain in the ass. I thought for sure that it was going to take me like right to. So you got Marlins and A's, and then they also play the Tigers in addition to the week against the Braves. Did you find them? Hello, did you find them?
Who is it? What?
The Marlins and the Marlins and the A's. I was talking to myself here.
No, I was.
I thought bringing the
waiting for the call.
I thought the dropping the team down on the tab would like bring their matchups up to the top, but it doesn't.
I've got it now.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to. Yeah, A's and Tigers, and of course the Braves. So, all right, looking at the A's and the Marlins. Well, I like the A's. I don't think I need to say too much because we just went through the A's lineup and we just went through the Marlins lineup. But, I like Rowdy over Aguilar. I do like Harrison over whoever the A's are going to be playing at second base. Bodie and Jamer Candelario. Candelario's not bad. He quietly, what did he hit, like 297 or something? Yeah, on the short season, he has 7 dongs. I mean, he's really not bad. Kind of unsung in Detroit, maybe a little bit. I probably like him over Bodie. And I like DeYoung over Willie Adames. So infield's going to the A's, I think. Even with the hole at second base. Yeah, zero opinion on that?
Oh, no.
Dead air. You're giving me dead air here on a live podcast. You're giving me a lot of dead air to work with.
Sorry, I thought you were going to move on to another one.
The Oakland outfield.
Well, like you said, we covered both those teams.
Yeah. The Oakland outfield I like, considerably better than the Miami outfield. Pretty much at every position, left, right, center. It's the A's. And if Springer is healthy, he's, of course, a better utility than Miles Straw. And the pitching, who I like the Oakland pitching over the Braves pitching. I like it over the Marlin pitching as well. When your number 2, I'm sorry, Tony, when your number 2 is Jordan Lyles, that's not great.
It's a tough matchup for the Fish.
Yeah, that's not great. When Jordan Lyles is your number 2, that's not great. Is Joe Ross with the big club? I don't know if he is or not. Maybe Rich Hill is your number 2. That's splitting hairs. I guess Rich Hill's better than Jordan Lyles, but you've got some pitching problems, Tony. You know that already. So yeah, give it to I'm giving the matchup to the A's.
Yeah, this is the biggest underdog yet. The Marlins
yeah, I think the A's beat the Marlins. Marlins Tigers. So this is our first look. Yeah, move on to the Tigers. Next one.
All right.
First look at the Tigers lineup, which I remember saying Tigers John was nice and deep during the initial breakdown show, like a month, it feels like forever ago. It was like a month plus ago. And when you look at the lineup, you see the depth. I mean, he's very well balanced. Top catcher, Realmuto over Gomes, of course. Jared Walsh. I don't know much. You know much about that guy? The Walsh, the Angels.
Got power.
Yeah. What did he do? Yeah, geez, he hit 9. Yeah, okay. I remember vaguely catching this at like the end of the year. Yeah, that he hit 9 homers. Geez, almost 1,000 OPS. Yeah, I probably, just on the strength of what he did on the short season, give him a nod over Aguilar, plus just not knowing how much Aguilar is going to play.
Right.
I probably.
Walsh is supposed to play most of the time.
Yeah, because it'll be Albert probably DHing, right, when he does. If it's not Ohtani,
right.
When he does get in there and play. I like McMahon at second base, probably over Harrison.
Yeah, pretty good spring.
And then, Machado far and away over Bodie. Adames and Jorge Polanco. Maybe that's a bit of a wash. I don't know. I'm not a huge Adames fan.
Get to play with the guy being hurt in Colorado.
Oh yeah. No, McMahon's playing. He'll play second. He'll play third. He'll play first. They'll find a spot for him. Well, maybe. I don't know. Been saying that about like him and Hampson for a few years now, and the Rockies somehow managed to screw that up. Outfield, I like the Detroit outfield. Margot, Verdugo, Soler.
Yeah.
And then Hunter Dozier in the utility. Yeah, I give the Tigers like a full ass whipping of the Marlins bats just overall. I like that Tiger lineup quite a bit.
Yeah.
And the pitching is good too. The Tigers, and he's got Alejandro Kirk, who did make the Blue Jays roster. He's got him on the bench. He's got Profar on the bench. He's got some decent pitchers on the bench. He's got Savale on the bench. Yeah, don't have to spend a ton of time. The pitching is quite a bit better than the Marlins. Karinchak, Pomerantz, Sims. Just the relievers are already I like more than, Chris Stratton and Jordan Lyles. And then you throw in the actual starters that he has, Frankie Montas, Caleb Smith, Zach Wheeler. I think the Tigers are going to thump the Marlins.
Yeah, now this is the biggest underdog.
Yeah, sorry, Tony. 2 matchups in a row. Okay, now this is the biggest ass kicking.
Yeah.
Now this is a tough couple teams to run into. A deep couple of teams.
Right. Yeah, this is a tough start for the Tigers.
Tough start for
tough early matchup.
Yeah, man. Good team. And John doesn't pop into the Discord all that much. He's quiet, and he's put together a very nice team. Hasn't made a ton of deals or anything. I don't think he made too much of a splash in Fabapalooza. Doesn't really seem like he needed to. He's got a pretty nice, balanced team, and he's got some decent prospects too. Man, yeah, good team here. I remember liking them. I remember liking the Tigers, but really looking at it again, I quite like the Tigers. Okay, so that does it for the Marlins. The Marlins could go 1-2. The Marlins could, just like I said about the Braves, the Marlins could easily go 0-3.
I'll go 1-2.
Yeah, he drew some tough straws with the A's and the Tigers there. How about, because they're right here, how about we go to the Mets? How about we go
Mets
to
Royals?
What's that?
What? Mets Royals?
I haven't actually found the first matchup yet. I just saw them on the list right by. Where the hell are they? Somebody tell me an easier. Mets Royals. There it is. There's got to be an easier way to be doing this. I feel like I'm doing this like an idiot. I just I don't know tracks as well as I should. Okay, Mets Royals. First look at both. The Mets have a little illegal lineup notification next to them as I look at it. I don't know. Oh, they're missing an RP. I'm sure he'll fix that. He's also definitely got some starters sitting on his bench. Like, I imagine he'll be starting Justin Turner. Probably will start Tapia or Pilar. But we'll start at the top. Catchers, Mitch Garver for the Mets. Pedro Severino for the Royals.
Pretty even.
Yeah, again, most of these catcher fights, are going to be fairly straight up. It's like if I like Garver here, that means I have to not like Jeffers, for the Braves, right? If I think Garver's going to be that much better, I don't know what the Twins are going to do with their catcher. I know Garver's, had the one really, really great year for a catcher, and then he lost his swing. Like, he came out and said, "I lost my swing." I think he's maybe found it again. But Severino has had for a catcher, a pretty productive little bit of time with the O's. He's got pop. He's not a complete batting average drain or anything. I flip a coin and maybe just say Severino because he's probably going to play more in this first week if the Twins goof off with their catchers or whatever. First base, Joey Votto is going to get the nod for the Mets over Ryan McBroom, the first baseman for the Royals. And we'll take a quick look at his bench to see. So he's got Ryan Zimmerman on the bench. that can also play first. I still give it to Joey Votto. Second base, Jeff McNeil against Colton Wong. You know how I feel about McNeil. I'm a big McNeil fan. So
Yeah, he gets a little edge there.
Third base, Asdrubal Cabrera, Yoshi Tsutsugo, who might hit leadoff, I guess, for the Rays. There's been some murmurings, but he is like he's gotten one hit in the spring.
Oh, yeah.
But that's kind of a coin flip for me. That's like a wash. I mean, Asdrubal, that guy feels like he should be like 40-something years old. It feels like he's been around forever.
Yeah.
But he does keep hitting. He hit 8 homers in the short season. That would have put him on probably a career pace over the course of a full season.
He's been playing some games at first.
Yeah, maybe, because Tsutsuga, I think, isn't he like a little banged up too or something? Or maybe he's just been terrible. Yeah, he's just like 1 for 16. Yeah, give it to Asdrubal. Fuck it. Shortstop, Gene Segura, Javi Baez. Probably going Baez.
Yeah, gotta give it to Baez. With the potential for.
Yeah, you don't like to but because I just don't really like him, but he's better than Segura. I'd rather have him.
Yeah.
Yeah. The outfield is tough. So the Mets outfield right now, I don't know if that's the outfield that he's going to, start opening day with. Looking at his bench, maybe he gets Tapia in there over, I don't know, maybe not. He's got Corey Dickerson, Lorenzo Cain, Jason Hayward against the Royal outfield of Eddie Rosario, Garrett Hampson, and Aaron Judge. I'd probably lean Royals just because he's also got Haniger in the utility spot. So, that outfield could be Rosario. I don't know. Hampson's probably the only guy he's got that plays center. So, yeah, he's got to have Haniger in the UT spot. But still, that's I think the outfield with Judge is the better outfield there. I don't love Hayward. Kane is getting old. Dickerson can't stay healthy. But we are just talking about week 1. I don't know if Judge has a red flag next to his name.
Yes, he does.
Oh, he's sick or something. A little under the weather. He had to take a crap. They had to pull him. The Royals pitching. And he's got DeGrom and Ed Diaz, so he could easily have the number 1 starter and the number 1 reliever. And this is where the Mets have a bunch of holes right now. He does have Michael Pineda. He does have David Price, who we know is going to be a reliever. And he's got Luke Weaver. But I don't know if that's good enough to overcome just DeGrom, by itself. But he's also got David Peterson. Turnbull's not going to make a start in the first matchup because he can't come back until the 12th. So, replace Turnbull with David Peterson or, whoever else. Doesn't have a ton of depth on the bench. Spencer Howard comes up. He does, and Fires comes back. But you can't give the team, that doesn't have DeGrom the nod in pitching. I got to give it to the Royals.
Yep.
What's the deal with Soroka? Oh, yeah. So, I don't know, man. His pitching is pretty thin because he's got Soroka and Turnbull, neither of who are going to make a start during this first matchup. So he's really leaning on DeGrom.
Maybe Newcomb gets that.
Yeah, I was just clicking on him. Yeah, Newcomb. He's made 3 grapefruit appearances. He's been in the bigs before. We know that. But after that, it's tough. Still, I probably still give the nod to DeGrom just by himself. DeGrom and Diaz. Because the Met pitching is not that great. a Colorado reliever. He's got Verlander sitting there, who of course is not gonna throw a pitch. So I'm probably give the overall nod to the Royals just for the pitching. The offense is pretty even, but the pitching sends the Royals over the top. Who the hell else did that? Uh-oh. Sounding pretty muffled again.
Oh, yeah.
Mets, Phillies. Oh boy. We were enjoying a beautiful game. 1987. When a crucial Keith Hernandez error opened the run to a 5-run Phillies ninth, cost the Mets the game. Our day was ruined. So let's take a look at the Phillies. Man, Phillies offense looking pretty good, actually.
Yeah, there's a little lineup out there.
I kind of didn't really know that's where some of these guys were. I didn't know he had Mancini. Votto will be a good week one, like head-to-head. Actually, this matchup is full of good little head-to-head. Biggio versus McNeil is a good head-to-head. Mancini versus Votto is a good head-to-head. I'm going to – what's that?
Solak is going to play. He's got him in third.
Yeah, I like Solak. Turner, I give Solak the nod over Asdrubal, and Turner, of course, gets the huge nod over Segura. The center fielder for the Phillies is Harold Castro, son of Fidel, nephew of Fidel, maybe.
Oh yeah, he could be. Yeah,
they're all related somehow. I think it's kind of like Genghis Khan. Like every Castro all stems from Dennis and Fidel. Not much there on the bench for the Phillies to. He's got Franchy, so he could easily. Yeah, he could easily start Franchy over Harold Castro. Boy, this is an interesting matchup. I like the Phillies pitching over the Mets. Alcantara, Keller. Keller's, I think, going to have 2 starts for any of these prolonged. Most leagues are doing a week and a half matchup or whatever, since it starts Thursday. Plesac's been awful, but he's still better than nothing. Yeah, I like the Phillies in this one. The Mets have some holes. The Mets really have some pitching problems. You could slot Pineda in there, under or instead of Lugo, but you have a lot of holes there in the Mets pitching. And Dwight, at least not that I've seen, Dwight has not been terribly active since the draft. Hopefully everything's like kosher with him, but I don't think he made a big fab splash. And haven't really seen him around the Discord. And clearly he hasn't done much with his roster if, Verlander and stuff is still in there. So hopefully all is well with Dwight. Dwight, show us a sign of life, man. Because you're starting an illegal roster for week 1 as it stands now. So, yeah, show us you're okay, Dwight. Show us. You got some of my favorite players. I love Joey Votto, and I'm a huge Jeff McNeil fan, especially for this year. So I'd like to see your roster get filled out. But as it stands now, you're going to get whooped by the Royals, and you're going to get really whooped by the Phillies. That might be. I know we were looking at Tony. Tony against the Tigers as a big whooping. This might be a pretty big whooping. The Phillies taking it to the Mets. If Dwight doesn't get his roster sorted out, the Phillies are going to really whip the Mets. Ooh. Yeah, Dwight. Come on, man. No, he's got some injuries. He's got the Josh Young injury. Kyle Lewis. Yeah, ouch. Do the Mets have a third matchup this week? Or are they one with 2? I'm asking you that question. Did I lose you? Are you gone?
No, I kind of lost my
Yeah, I think the Mets only have, from what I see, the Mets only have 2 matchups.
Yeah, maybe that's why.
I can hardly hear you again.
Yeah, maybe that's why it's not there.
And if I can hardly hear you, I know the boys can probably hardly hear you.
About now, better be better.
No, not really.
Really?
Yeah. No, you're almost inaudible to me, so probably definitely to anybody else. No, that is not any better. If I'm losing you, if somebody wants to jump in on StreamYard and get in on some of this with me, I might be losing you because I'm not hearing you hardly at all. It's like I hear that you're saying things, but I don't. It's very muffled.
That is damn phone.
Yeah, it might be a piece of shit phone. All right. Well, let's. I'll try to press on here. Anybody feel like jumping in? Anybody feel like jumping in? If you have a StreamYard account, especially, I don't know who all does of the 2 people that are watching. Stick with the East. Well, we just kind of did. We've done 2 Phillies matchups already, right? No, that's just 1. But let's go to the.
2.
Was it 2?
Oh, 2 Mets.
Yeah, 2 Mets. We did both Mets, and one of those was the Phillies, but the Phillies are in the East, so we can just roll with the next Phillies matchup, and that is Phillies Brewers. Phillies Brewers. Let me know when you find it. Yeah, I cannot hear you at all.
Really?
Yeah,
If I have to move, that might help the phone, but then I'm away from the
away from the thing, you have a laptop.
Oh, yeah. Well,
take it with you. Yeah, you are. I don't know what happened, but I'm not really making out much of what you're saying at all.
Sometimes don't get the reception. Maybe it's some spot.
Yeah, I'll give you a call in a little bit. You're just completely inaudible if you can hear me.
Okay. I hear you. Okay.
All righty. Bye.
All right.
All right, so we lost the Padres because that was ridiculous. So yeah, I mean it's out there. If anybody wants to jump on, if you have a StreamYard account, Tony, Jeff, if you're around, if Duke is around, if any of you guys are around, you want to put the call out, put the bat signal out for everybody on the Discord. Not like I'm on a time thing. We lost the Padres. Somebody jump on with me. Because I feel like an asshole sitting here talking to myself, but I kind of feel like that's essentially what I was doing anyway, because he got a new phone recently, and he's not very good at phones anyway. So that was tough. I don't know how well he was coming through on the mic, but we just kind of started losing him. Left with Phillies Mets, I know. Tony, somebody, man, I could get Tony. Come on, Tony. What do I have to do to invite you guys? So here I'm going to throw this link up. I think we could get 3 of us. So first 2 takes it. Take a little bit of a breather. Oh, you, yeah, great. I'm gonna grab a bottle of water real quick. Yeah. Oh my God, I hate this chair that I'm sitting in. I hate this chair. I'm so hyped for opening day, man. I'm so hyped. I mean, I'm sure everybody is, but last year did not feel like a real year of baseball to me. Hey, it's Tony. Let's get him in here. Tony.
Hey, can you hear me?
Check, check.
Check, can you hear me?
Uh-oh.
Oh, hold on. It's my microphone, sorry.
Damn it. I am not hearing Tony.
Audio. Here we go. Just 1 second.
You know what? I think I need my headphones. I'll be right back.
Okay, no problem.
I remember now that when I was using the mic, I had to have headphones plugged into here. Check.
We good?
Yes. All right. Okay. All right. Well, that was terrible. I mean, we lost the pods, but that's okay. Pick right back up.
You're
Phillies
doing, Brewers?
Oh yeah, Phillies Brewers. Yeah. Well, that's a shame. Yeah, it's a shame. We did the Marlins and then brought the Marlins guy.
Oh, that's fine.
On.
No problem.
Phillies Brewers. Yeah, blew through that.
Okay.
Yeah, let's.
Wherever you want to go next, just tell me.
Let's go Phillies and Nats.
Okay.
So that's the Phillies' 3rd matchup of the week. Man, the offense looks pretty evenly matched, honestly. Zunino, Stassi. For me, that's a bit of a that's like I said about a lot of these catcher matchups, they're going to be a coin flip. Who gets more at bats, and then with those few at bats, who's the guy that hit 1 homer this matchup or whatever. Mancini, Alonso. Probably got to go Alonso.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now here's an interesting one: Biggio and Castanheira. Like that's interesting for the season long, but just for this matchup, who do you like?
Well, the thing to think about with the Toronto thing is they're still playing in that spring training ballpark down in Dundee.
Yeah, the Buffalo.
So he's probably going to get a decent chunk of games, you'd think, down in that. I don't even know if you call it AAA ballpark or whatever, how you want to say it. But it's playing those spring training games,
Right. Man, Biggio, they're kind of different players in that Biggio walks a lot. Hira strikes out a lot.
Yeah.
You probably give the power nod to Hira, but the on base nod to Biggio. So,
and where do they? I haven't looked too much into it, and I'm just pulling it up right now. Where has he been hitting in the lot? Biggio. Where's he been?
That's a good question.
Is he going to lead off if Springer's not playing? Because Springer's their leadoff man now.
Yeah,
but
it seems like I'm one of the few guys like on Twitter that has not kept up with Mike Curlin's spring training lineup spreadsheet. And it was like super cool that he did that like for free for everybody and updated it every morning. But for whatever reason, it just wasn't something I found myself looking at a lot. So I don't know where they've been hitting Biggio.
The only thing I go to now is it's the only one that's really out there that's halfway reliable is that Roto Champ. Right. Because they just say what they project the lineup's going to be. But, right now they have Springer leading off, but like we both, said, who knows if he's playing this week.
Yeah, let's say with an Oblique, if I had to put money on it right now, I would say Springer is not in the opening day lineup.
Yes, I would
the
agree with
Jays.
that.
So would that mean that Biggio leads off?
Or moves up the order in some type
and then
of
if he's hitting up in that order for the week, boy, that's tough. I don't know who I like. I guess you'd have to really kind of dig down and see what pitchers these guys are facing and stuff for the matchup.
Yeah.
But, put a gun to my head, I like the OBP guy over the guy that strikes out a lot, even though I'm pretty sure ABL does not penalize for strikeouts.
No.
I'm correct in that.
That's my knowledge.
I think I slight edge Biggio for me, but it could easily go, here it could hit 4 or 5 homers or something in this first 11-day matchup or whatever and be the number 1 second baseman. They could each be the number 1 second baseman, like any matchup.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, I'm just pulling it up right now, and there is you get 1 point for a walk, but nothing. There's no negatives for hitters.
Yeah, that was my big thing with taking Gallo, was that we are not going to be penalized heavily for those strikeouts, or at all, rather. I like Nick Solak at third over Isaac Paredes. I don't even know if Paredes is going to be – he was optioned to AAA. So take a look at the Nats bench real quick. What do they got cooking at third base? Not much at all. They might have a third base hole to start the year, like the second base hole that the A's have.
Yeah.
Because Cody Hose, he's not going to be on a big league club to start the year, and neither is Paredes. So if anybody's looking for a trade partner, the Nats need a third baseman. The A's need maybe a second baseman. So give it to the Phillies for third base. And then another super interesting matchup for these two teams, Trey Turner and Bo Bichette.
Yeah.
Which I love Trey Turner. We discussed that on our NL only team. I'm a big Trey Turner guy. I don't think any Bo Bichette this year. Are you a Bichette guy?
I am, but I'm not. I'm a big Biggio guy, actually. So I like pretty much most of that lineup as it is.
Yeah, I wish I had some more exposure
to Toronto's lineup.
Yeah, I've got a lot of Gurriel. I don't think I have any Teoscar.
Yep.
I've got a bit of Biggio. But
that's almost something that could offset itself too, with the Nationals having Bichette and the Phillies having Biggio.
Yeah, right. If one guy's driving in the other guy, or vice versa. Then the Phillies also have Teoscar, so they're pretty more heavy than most teams. With guys from the same lineup with Teoscar and Biggio.
We were discussing this earlier today in the Discord with Mark and everything about how what do you really have past Garrett Cole for the Yankees staff?
Kluber.
Yeah.
And a lot of question marks, I guess. Off the top of my head, I don't you can't lean on like a Luis Severino or anything like that. So, and it's not going to be – is it going to be Deavy? No. Yeah. So Domingo German, Tyone, and Montgomery.
Yeah, because I don't know if they know who they're going to start, 4 and 5 or whatever. I think you mentioned one of them, like Tyone and Montgomery, but past that,
Roster Resource has Tyone as the number 2 right now. I kind of would have assumed that Klubs would be the number 2, but the projections for them are not great. They're all low to mid 4s ERA guys outside of Cole for their projections.
They only get the 3 games in Dundee this week in the 11-game matchup. So they go at Yankees, at Rangers versus the Angels.
Okay.
But are you really scared of Texas's pitching?
No, not at all. That's probably a team that you're, if we're going to talk DFS, you're going to stack against Texas pitching. You might stack against, or you might, not stack, but you might stream against the Texas lineup in smaller leagues. If you're in a 10 or a 12 team league, Roto League especially, you could just stream SPs against the Rangers for a good chunk of the year, especially if something happens and Gallo goes down or whatever. There's just another massive hole in that lineup.
And then Odor's gone off that team because they didn't have nothing left, and I don't know if they know it. I mean, what did they make what was that trade for Chris Davis? Who did they?
Chris Davis,
yeah. Who did they give up? Who was it? I forgot.
I don't even.
Chicago in the winter.
Yeah,
is not going to be ideal for the hitters.
Even as bad as he's been, I probably still take, just as the lineups look right now as I look at them on tracks, I'm taking Zach Plesac over Matt Moore.
Mm-hmm.
Just like based on principle, just Matt Moore. And the relievers, the Washington relievers, not all that bad. I mean, if Hand
and Minter, sorry.
Yeah, it's a what if with Hand. I have little to no faith in him like as the closer, but I've been thinking that for like a couple years, and he keeps proving those thoughts wrong. And he's got the job until he loses it. The Nats do have Andrew Vaughn on the bench, and so he could probably be the utility guy over Josh Naylor. Yeah. So that gives a nod to the offense. Man, I think I kind of like the Nats. Boy, I don't know.
Looking at his bench too. I mean, he still is Colin McHugh. What is his role? Oh, he's a bullpen guy.
Yeah, but he could be like a follower or like a multi-inning kind of guy and rack up points that way.
He has Aaron Sanchez. The Nats. This is
could be decent.
Yeah.
He could be decent. All he needs is on a matchup to matchup base. He just needs one good start out of him, and he's definitely capable of doing that.
He gets the Padres first matchup.
Boy, that's tough. Yeah, I probably wouldn't be putting too much stock in that.
Yeah.
But this is a tough matchup. I don't know. The Phillies, I think I like the Philly offense better, but the Washington pitching slightly better. I think I would tip my cap to the Phillies in this matchup.
Yeah. That hitting.
Yeah, with Harper and Turner and Biggio, I think that's just and Teoscar really.
Yeah.
And then a 2-start week out of Keller. I think that gives him the edge for me. Yeah. Yeah, I'm giving the edge to the Phillies.
So was that? Did you do Phillies Brewers or not? Sorry.
That was.
Did you do that one or not?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll go Phillies Brewers.
Oh.
So we just did Zunino against Max Stassi, the one Angel catcher. This matchup is Zunino against Kurt Suzuki, the other Angel catcher. Flip.
I don't know who's the better side of the platoon. They're saying Suzuki backs up Stassi in the little blurb.
I like Mancini over Guzman. What I would like to talk about is Biggio Altuve. What are your thoughts on that? Just for this matchup, not for the year, but just for this matchup.
It, like you said, with the non-negative for strikeouts with an OBP guy for Biggio, where but Altuve gets on base too. I mean, he probably has the smallest strike zone in Major League Baseball.
But he doesn't do as much when he gets on base as he used to. He doesn't run like he used to.
He's not running.
Not that in a points league you're not really leaning on steals as a source of points, but they do count. They are points.
Where is he project? They have him projected leading off.
Yeah, that's what he does. And I don't think he forgot how to hit. I'm not a Altuve
I
sucks
think
now without the trash cans and stuff. I don't think that.
I think the past few years he kind of sacrificed some of the average for power.
Well, and he had bad knees too. He
Yeah.
had like sore and injured knees. Like that was end of 18 maybe that he was like playing out the season on a partially like fractured kneecap or something.
Mm-hmm.
He's had the knee thing for a bit, and maybe that has sapped his stolen bases.
Yeah.
But he's still Jose Altuve. He's only like 32, something like that.
Sounds
it seems
about
like he's
right.
older than he is, but I don't think he's forgotten how to hit. But do I like him over Biggio? I have way more Altuve, on teams. But again, we're not talking about for the year. We're just talking about for this matchup. Man, I don't know.
And we mentioned that we already looked at the Astros schedule. I mean, sorry, not the Astros.
The Jays, yeah.
The Jays schedule.
We know who they're facing.
Yeah.
It looks like Astros are at Oakland to start.
Yeah, I got it pulled up here. Just 1 second here. Schedule. And I wonder how many, looking at that Royals thing like we did not too long ago, I wonder how many other teams have that start to the year.
Yeah, those like two game sets is a little weird. And
now here's the Astros. 4 against the Athletics, 2 against the Angels, and 3 against the Athletics.
So like a kind of a home and home with the A's with like a little 2-game thing in between.
Yeah.
Interesting. So they're in Oakland and then they come back home to face Oakland.
Yes. And in between they're in LA.
Okay. Boy,
then you'd be getting LA's 4 and 5.
Yeah, it kind of makes me want to tip my hat to Altuve a little bit.
And then you'd get a second matchup right away, probably against the same pitchers.
Seeing guys you just saw. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's The Phillies week 1 matchups feature 2 of the 3 feature really good second baseman versus second baseman head-to-head matchups.
Yep.
The third base here, Solak and Brian Anderson, they're kind of like the same guy for different reasons, like points-wise. One will get him one way, the other will get him the other. I think that's kind of a flip. Giving the easy nod to Trey Turner over Ahmed Rosario.
Yep.
And, the Teoscar, Harper, Castro outfield gets the easy nod over the Roman Quinn, Aquino, and Andrew Stevenson outfield of the Brewers.
Yes.
Now let's make sure he's not hiding like Mike Trout on his bench.
Yeah, there are some guys in this league. I've looked through that. We'll find that out. You're looking at their starting line. You're like, wow. And then you scroll out. Oh, there's the rest of their team.
That's like the main reason that I wanted to do this tonight instead of tomorrow night, because I figure tomorrow night, even if you're only in the ABL, but a lot of us are in multiple leagues, we're going to be doing our tinkering, with all these lineups Wednesday night before games Thursday morning, afternoon. So, do this tonight. So if anybody wants to watch or listen, they don't have to, make the decision between listening to a couple of nerds talking about this league or tinkering with their lineups and being ready for Thursday morning. So let's do it tonight instead of tomorrow night. This guy's bench is this is Rob, I believe. Yeah, Brewers Rob. He's got the Kellenic, J-Rod.
And neither one of those guys are up, right?
No, but I mean, geez, when they both are, look the fuck out,
Oh yeah, no. I'm just talking. We're just talking for this.
Yeah,
match.
simply for week 1. Yeah, simply for week 1. His bench is not deep.
Yeah.
Outfield, really, or otherwise, he's got a lot of minor league guys on his major league bench right now, and
4 catchers. Am I seeing that right?
Yeah, looks like.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got the market cornered on on mediocre catchers. Yeah.
I did kind of similar, but what I did was I just handcuffed the guy I had and got the backup catcher.
Right. Be sure you're going to get some at bats.
Yeah.
Somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
So overall, the offense, Phillies take the offense.
Yes.
Part of this equation. The pitching. Boy, I probably like Philly here too. We know what he's bringing: Alcantara, Keller, Plesac. The Brewers are bringing Mize, Sheffield, and his number one's probably Urias. Let's make sure his bench isn't loaded with pitchers. I don't recall it being. I remember the Brewers being one of those teams when we did the breakdown was like, I spent a lot of money in the draft on prospects, and he's got some holes, but it's like once those
prospects come up.
Yeah, once some of those guys, and he doesn't need every one of them to be a home run. If just Kalanick or just J-Rod, is what they should be, it makes that lineup look a whole lot better in the future. But he does have some pitching issues, especially starting pitching issues. I probably got to give the nod to the Phillies, at least, That's me.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, and we broke down their matchups a little bit with Philly, and
yeah, and again, he's the Brewers, like he's got some nice pitching prospects like Pardino and Asa Lacy.
I wonder how many starts he gets out of Chad Cole, because I wonder how many games the Pirates play, because Cool is the opening day starter.
Yes, he is.
I mean,
sad time to be a Pirate fan, but a lot of many years have been a sad time to be a Pirate fan, honestly. So,
but just by volume alone.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a points league. He's somebody has to throw the innings. They're gonna play 162 games or whatever. Somebody's got to throw the innings, and I know Cole's supposed to be one. I know Stephen Brault was supposed to be one, but he's not gonna throw for a month or whatever.
Yeah, that might be a brutal start for him. He goes. I mean, I'm just saying as a pitcher, he goes to the Reds. It's not that the Reds lineup is scary. It's just they don't call it Great American Small Park for nothing,
No, and especially when it warms up, the ball does fly out of there a bit. So yeah, for this week, I like the Phillies, and I think I like the Phillies to go 3-0 week 1.
Yeah,
that is. Yeah, I think that's my prediction. The Phillies.
They are. I mean, I paid a lot of attention to obviously the 4 other teams in my league division,
sure.
And they are by far and away the most talented roster in the division.
Yeah, I like Philly to open up 3-0, maybe 2-1. Maybe the Nats give them trouble, but the Mets have so many pitching holes, and then the Brewers have again so many pitching holes. I think I like the Phils.
It'll be interesting to see what we're saying in these podcasts in 2 or 3 weeks after we see we see the scoring on paper,
right?
And we can kind of project it out, but to see how it plays out in a league this deep.
That's why I said the other day, like somebody was talking about that college basketball game. It's, who was it? Loyola, should have won by 15 points or whatever. Like if you go by the metrics, and they say, well, that's why they play the games.
Yeah,
because
the metrics, I don't know how many open shots and stuff.
Yeah, they can maybe tell you all the things. They can tell you what should happen 90-something% of the time, but then you ring the bell and have the match or play the game, and well,
just like in baseball, we can't say we can look at this is how teams hit, this is how teams well, but certain teams could crush fastballs and do horrible against breaking stuff, or do great against breaking stuff. It can't hit a fastball.
It's the human element, If that was the way we did, we just would play the shit out on OOTP, and we wouldn't have to bother with anything else. But that's why I don't want robot umpires. Give me the human. Give me the human element. Especially baseball. Just recently has become so numbers oriented and computer analytic oriented. Like it just feels like it's really become 3 true outcomes, and. It's fun sometimes, but I don't think that's what I want.
That's
not what I want. I have OTP for that. I want to watch real baseball and some unpredictability to it.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at the Nats and Padres. We'll go to that one.
Yeah.
The Padres are going to get the catching nod over Max Stassi. That's the other
let me answer this real quick.
Oh, sure.
Hello. Hey, how you doing?
Fix my head here.
Not much. Just on YouTube.
Let's see. I will. I'll mute Tony so we don't hear his conversation. So you are muted, Tony, if you can hear me. I will watch carefully for him to come back. Can't believe nobody else stepped up. Only Tony. Tony stepped up and came in here like a champion, ready to talk some baseball. And I get that it is also like a Tuesday night in the middle of dinner time for most guys too. So I'm really not fucking with anybody. Or watching college basketball, which I'm sure is. Oh, all right, you're back. All right.
Okay, we still there?
Yeah, we're good.
Sorry
I muted you so nobody would, we wouldn't all be listening to your shit there. You got Nats Padres?
Yep, we're up.
So of course you like Will Smith over Max Stassi. That's a no-brainer. But what about Goldie versus Alonso for this matchup?
They play in Cincinnati.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw the other day, but I was saying that the Reds are plus 140 on opening day against the Cardinals. And I think that's great value for Luis Castillo at home.
Against Flaherty, right?
Against Flaherty, yeah. I mean, I at plus 140, I probably will. I hate to bet against my own, I'm a Cardinal fan, but
no,
I like that value of a Castillo being that much of a dog.
Yes, and he's a bulldog. He's going to attack Castillo.
He's just good. I mean, he's just good. That Cardinal lineup is not very good. I mean, it's got Goldie, it's got Arenado, Carlson. We hope is going to be good, but good pitching beats good hitting. So, and the Cincy lineup is not bad. It's not terrible. I like Castillo at plus 140. Shit. But do I like Goldie over Alonso? I don't know. Alonso does have to start the season against, Scherzer and Strasburg and Corbin. So that's tough for a guy that will strike out and, whose game is all about power. Starting against that trio is not easy. Maybe I give a slight nod to Goldie. Keston Hira and John Birdie. Got to go with Hira there.
Oh, hey, I'm going to be back in 30 seconds. I got to let my dogs out.
Okay, cool. I'll just keep going. Yeah, you're good.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
Obviously, Heston. Hira over Birdie. I do like KB over Burritos. Oh, God. Gotta like Bo Bichette over Arcia. Nothing too crazy about that. I'm going to mute Tony's mic because it sounds like he's in the middle of a tornado. The outfield, probably like the Nats outfield over. I know Adam Frazier had a great spring, but Frazier, Fowler, and Alex Dickerson against Calhoun, Austin Hayes, and Clint Frazier. I'm giving the nod to the Nats for outfield. But in the U spot, Nelly Cruz is going to get the nod over most guys of, the utility-only eligible players. So the offense, man, that's tough. These guys are pretty evenly matched. Check out the pitching. You got to like the Padre pitching. You, Captain Jack. Manaea is a better three-man than Matt Moore. And the relievers, I like the relievers on the Padre side. Hendricks. Holland, even if he's not the saves guy, he's going to be a holds guy. Marshall could easily be a holds guy. And he's got the Austin Barnes handcuff if something goes wrong with Will Smith. Jay Bruce will be first base eligible very soon, but he's got Goldie there, so that's not going to be an issue. Does have Quintana and Tanner Roark on the bench for some extra starts. Little deeper in the SP. He's got Alex Woods, $33 Fab Man. He's got Brent Honeywell, who Did he make the team? Guess I don't know. I think I'm going to give the slight tip of the cap to the Pods just because of the pitching. The offense, I think, was pretty even. But the pitch, this guy's he's got Donaldson, he's got Nelly. Chavis just got option today. He's got Jay Bruce. So maybe the depth nod goes to the Pods, and I think the pitching nod goes to the Pods. So I like that there. Give the nod to the Pods. So Washington so far have them getting beat by the Phillies, getting beat by the Pods, and I think that was his last matchup. I think he's maybe only got 2 matchups. Nope, he plays the Angels as well. Still losing Tony. Astudillo and Stassi. Boy, so I'm going to try to fucking quicken this up a little bit because, man, I'm going to be doing this forever. I didn't have a set plan on breaking these down before I got in here and like how much time it was going to take to do multiple matchups for each team. There's no way people are going to watch all this, and there's no way I want it to take 3 or 4 hours. So I like the Nats offense. I might even like Bichette over Lindor. I do like the Nats outfields. Calhoun, Hayes, Frazier. No, I don't know. Benintendi, Mullins, Renfroe. That's not bad.
Hey, there he is. Where's he hitting in that lineup, Benintendi now? Is he like 2 or 3?
Man, I guess I don't really know. I know they've been doing the Mondesi third thing. If it was me, I'd be putting Benintendi either second or like 6th or 7th or something like that. But he's going to play.
Yes, he will get everyday at bats.
Now, do I like him over Willie Calhoun? Actually, I probably do. And Calhoun can't come back until April 15th, so yeah. Calhoun's not even going to be part of this matchup. So yeah, I definitely like the Angels outfield better than the Nats. Now the pitching. Boy, I might like the Angels pitching. I know the Nats have the name, like Walker Buehler and Luzardo. He's got the names, but he just doesn't have the depth.
Yeah, and then Hendricks gets the Pirates opening day.
Yeah, he's gonna be great. Matt Harvey is the Baltimore number 2, and while he's not great, he's gonna score points, and he might be just as good against Boston as Luzardo ends up being against Houston. Sounds weird to say, but like point-wise, that might be a bit of a wash. Javier has potential. It's like a strikeout an inning guy.
Yeah. And
had a pretty low whip. I like him over Matt Moore, easy. And the relievers,
Fairbanks,
and Iglesias, I like them over the Nat relievers, I think. So, man, by my look, I could potentially have the Nats starting 1-2 or 0-3.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of these guys run into some tough matchups, and I haven't even really looked at my own all that much yet, but there's only been a couple that I have felt that were really going to be like whoopings. And even then, not like horrible whoopings.
Yeah. With this deeper rosters, you're guaranteed to have some balance amongst.
Yeah, you're never going to have, unless like somebody just gets devastated by injuries, you shouldn't have too many where it's like, wow, this guy's better at every single spot than the other guy. Is that the East? I think that's the East.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's go. Yeah. Let's go to the Central. Let's go to the Cubs. Let's start with the Cubs in the Central. The Cubs? How about the Cubs Brewers? We've taken a decent look at the Brewer team already. We know the holes that he had, the big time pitching holes and pitching depth problems. You've got a pretty weak outfield until those.
I'd say it's even going to
prospects
at
coming.
bats.
Yeah. Boy, looking at the Cub team, I like the Cub offense. Fuentes is probably going to get third base eligibility within a week or two, so he'll be first, third eligible. Give Frank some flexibility on the infield there. The outfield is, boy, I don't know. Duvall, Pesci, is he breaking camp with the team?
Well, and is he one of those prospects too that's known more for his glove than his
I think him and Waters, one of those two guys, Drew Waters, Christian Pash, one of those two, Atlanta, one of them is like a double plus defender and not as much with the bat. And it might be Pesci because he's the center fielder. And it is saying, though, that he's expected to be Atlanta's starting center fielder. So even if he is a glove first guy, he's going to get at bats. Is he going to get more at bats than Roman Quinn? Because Roman Quinn's going to be the center fielder in Philly, right?
Yeah, well, part of the roster. They don't.
And Piscotty and Aquino, I mean, I really don't know. Aquino had that, light the world on fire a couple weeks or whatever, where he hit 9 homers in 9 games or whatever the hell it was. But
with a year or two ago or whatever.
Yeah, I think he's maybe been a little figured out. Yeah, they got the book on him a little bit after that. What about this pitching matchup, though? Who do you
see? And I'm opposite of a lot of people. I'm a Glasnow guy. I like him. I like Molly too. He's a high strikeout guy. I'm not a huge Morton guy, but he's your green.
I think I like the Cub pitching, especially in this matchup.
Yeah,
just the Glasnow, Molly, and Morton. I like them quite a bit over the front 3 of the Brewers.
And we haven't looked at the Cubs bench pitching yet.
And just like when you look at the Brewers, you look at Casey Mize, and it's like, okay, he's facing Cleveland, which is not a terrific lineup, but it's in Detroit, and the weather's going to be shitty. So, what do you do with it?
What's we mentioned it earlier with the Mercado thing, with the Bobby Bradley thing, with the is Cleveland really putting their best offensive lineup out there?
What do we think it is? I mean, it's I guess it's our opinion versus theirs. Is Bobby Bradley a better, first base option than Jake Bauers? I don't remember exactly what they gave the Rays in that Jake Bauers trade. Is that how the Rays got Nate Lau?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't recall, but they saw enough in him to trade for him and now give him another chance. Bradley might just be a quad A kind of guy, but Bauers might just be a quad A kind of guy too.
Yeah.
It's just not a lineup that you fear the way you maybe did a couple years ago.
Well, I mean, it's amazing what happens when you lose Lindor.
Yeah. It's just it changes the entire complexion of that lineup, and
which
the outfield is really bad.
Which version of Jose Ramirez are you going to get?
Yeah, and it's just like, even if it's the great one, there's not a whole lot of reason to pitch to him very much.
No.
Is there? Like if you're anybody against Cleveland? I do like the Cubs in this matchup. I like them to win this matchup. And maybe start – well, actually, the Cubs are also playing the White Sox. Interesting. So they're playing interdivision and then like a crosstown kind of game.
And anyone who knows that Cubs you're talking. So I'm just meaning like in real life, Cubs Milwaukee. That's not a home game for Milwaukee up in Milwaukee.
Oh no, yeah, not in real life. Yeah, we've seen evidence of that plenty. Okay. I think the Cubs only have 2 matchups this week, so his other one is against the White Sox.
Who's the guy above that? Does he have anybody above that? You said or no?
Just Cubs Brewers, Cubs White Sox, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, he's one of the guys with 2. So he's up against the Kiwi. Harry, the New Zealander.
Yeah.
And
he's one that I would think his lineup's pretty much going to be set either now or very soon, because what's the time difference and stuff like that?
I would bet. I think he's like 12 or maybe fewer. I think they're ahead, though. He's ahead of us.
Yes, I mean, right now, looking at him, I think you have to give him the pitching edge.
I give him the pitching edge for sure because it's Bieber, Nola, and Marco Gonzalez, and then also Chapman and Presley. So two guys that are going to be the saves guys.
Starter, it looks like. Man,
Harry's got a pretty nice-looking team here. I think I even like him on the offensive side. Santana's a better at first base than Fuentes. Scope is going to be batting cleanup. It might not be for a great lineup, but he's like the cleanup hitter on his team. Cronenworth is a utility guy. He's going to get at bats, but he's a utility guy. Seager and Escobar, you can probably call a wash.
Yeah.
Carlos Correa, you don't know what you're going to get. He could step onto the field for opening day and be out the rest of the year. Tim Anderson's a machine, it seems like. He's like a 400 BABIP machine. And the outfield of the White Sox.
Anderson,
go ahead.
He's such a huge strikeout guy.
Yeah.
So this is
doesn't
not
walk.
negative.
Yeah, it doesn't walk.
Yeah.
But isn't going to get the negatives for the strikeouts.
Yeah.
And the White Sox outfield is much better. Brantley, Jock, Eaton over Duvall, Pesci, and Piscotty. And the White Sox pitching is far superior. The Cubs have decent pitching, but this White Sox pitching is something else. And that's not even getting into his bench.
Something I want to touch on that I kind of noticed because I've been looking at Frank a lot for trades, stuff like that. I think he's been devastated by the injury bug already.
Yeah.
But
Frank's made a ton of deals also, though. He's shaking his team up quite a bit.
Was he the Eloy owner?
I believe, man, it was, let's see, Mark had him, and Mark traded him. Did Mark trade him to Frank or trade him to somebody else who traded him to Frank? I can't recall. Eloy's bounced around a little bit. But, yeah, Frank has tried to make, like, the corresponding moves. You know, he hasn't sat on his hands.
Scherzer. Did he have Scherzer on his bench?
No, I don't think so. No, he's got Max Skirola.
Oh, gotcha.
That kind of looks like Max Scherzer.
Yeah. Well, and then you're scrolling past, and I saw the red hat of Carlos Martinez. Yeah. So, like, I combined Carlos Martinez with this Max
Skirola.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, not quite. I'm giving this matchup to the White Sox.
Okay.
And I think the Cubs should start a solid 1-1 probably, beating the Brewers and probably losing to the White Sox. Sticking with the Central, might as well go to the Cardinals. See what Jeff's running up into. So how about Cardinals Red Sox for Jeff's first matchup? And God, I want to somehow try to speed this up because this is just taking forever. Going through all of these. Let's take a quick scan of the offense. I think I like, it's hard to go against the team that has Mike Trout, but I think Jeff definitely has the deeper offense here. Just looking at the lineups as they're put together right now, at least. Maybe the Sox have some bench players that he's got a lot of specs. Not much major league bench. No, not even Matt Davidson. Got some guys he's waiting on.
So he's got 3 catchers too, the Red Sox.
Yeah, if you count Adley. Yeah.
Well, Jeff has Voit, who it looks like is going to be out.
Yeah, Voigt's going to be – he's going to miss him. But he's able to slip Hoskins in there, so that's pretty nice to be able to replace one with the other like that.
And now you scroll down to the pitching. I didn't realize Gosman's the ace for the Giants.
Well, he's probably the number one.
Yeah.
Yeah, who else?
I always liked him. And I just felt they just got beat up because they were in Baltimore.
Well, he's going to like a polar opposite ballpark, not only on the opposite coast, but also like plays opposite for a pitcher.
And a better division. Well, I don't know if you'd say the better division.
He is going to face, he's going to face the Pods and the Giants. He's going to have to go to Colorado at some point. But he's not the ace for Jeff. That's he's like the first pitcher on there, but Jeff has Scherzer, he has Maeda.
Sure. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
I was just noticing it because he's got the green check mark for opening.
Right, for the OD.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
I think I like Jeff's hitting, and I think I like Jeff's pitching. I know I like Jeff's pitching in this matchup.
Yes.
I'm giving the Cardinals the nod over the Red Sox.
Okay.
For game one. Yeah, who else? He's going to play the Angels, who we just looked at, who are pretty decent. But again, Jeff's pitching is going to kill this pitching.
Yes.
The lineup, Jeff's outfield is better. Martinez, Hicks, Arozarena versus Renfroe, Mullins, Benintendi. You got to like the outfield for Jeff. And you got to like the infield. Hoskins is better than Bell. Cesar Hernandez could easily have a better week than Glaber. Glaber's good, but Hernandez is no slouch.
No.
He's a high average guy. He does walk. He'll steal a few bases. He'll hit 10 to 12 homers. And I like Arenado over Bohm. Of course, Lindor gets the nod over Didi.
Yeah.
But I think I like the Cardinals in this matchup as well.
Mm-hmm.
Is he a 2 matchup guy? He's playing the Red Sox. He's playing the Angels.
Oh, let me see.
Yeah, I think the Cards are another 2 matchup guy. Like the Cubs. No, he's playing the Pirates as well.
Okay.
So matchup 3 against the Pirates. This one could be interesting. So the catchers, I like Vasquez probably over Chance Sisco. Is Vasquez opening the year on the IL? He took a shot to the face. No, he's eligible April 1st, so he'll be fine.
Yeah.
I like Vasquez over Chance Sisco. No, nothing crazy there. I probably like Hoskins over Crone. Now, if this was
July,
a month from now, and
I
I didn't know what I know that I know,
Yep.
like the front range is getting the shit snowed out of them right now.
Yep.
It just doesn't bode well. Some of these games may be canceled or postponed or whatever in Colorado.
Yeah, I got a lot of friends who deal up in whatever that city is from Denver. Is it Golden City or whatever? Where all the casinos are in Denver.
Yeah, Golden's right there. That's where they make Spider
I keep
Cove.
getting pictures from them about how.
Yeah, Golden's a little more into the mountains. It's it's kind of right there, but Golden's a little more in the mountains. But you can, the front range is just getting crushed right now.
Yeah,
it's all snow, and there's been April baseball. We've seen it in Detroit. We've seen it in Minnesota. We've seen it in play where it does snow during baseball games. But all of us have probably played some kind of ball in our life. Nobody likes to play that shit in the snow. Using a wooden bat when it's cold, no matter how many gloves you have on, that shit hurts against any kind of decent fastball. It's not fun to hit. It's not fun to pitch. They don't like doing it. So I probably like Hoskins over Crone in this matchup. Caesar and Brandon Lau. I like Brandon Lau. I think he's a top 3 second baseman potentially this year. So I'm probably giving the nod to Lau. Now here's an interesting one: Arenado, and Vladito.
It's do you believe Arenado is still going to produce at the same level, not having Coors?
Well, it's the same level. That's going to be, but what part of it is going to drop off? Is it just going to be batting average? Because Arenado is going to. It's not like he was hitting a bunch of wall scraping home runs in Colorado.
No.
Those balls are going to go out in most places. So is it going to be at the cost of a bunch of base hits or doubles or something like that?
Yeah, do his trip. I don't even know how many triples he really had.
But is he maybe in a better? Could you say he's in a better lineup?
Yes,
yes, he had Trevor Story and Charlie Blackmon. Trevor Story, Charlie Blackmon in front of him. Is that better than? What's it going to be in St. Louis? Tommy Edman?
I think it's more of a death by 1,000 paper cuts with that lineup.
Might score more runs than he did, in Colorado. Better guys hitting behind him or whatever.
Yeah, the sum of their parts, I think, is better than the sum of the parts in the Colorado lineup. Because, we've discussed before, who's Colorado? You never know what they're going to do day to day.
That's true.
They've dinked around with these other positions.
Except for those 3 guys, Story, Blackmon, Arenado have been the mainstays.
Yep.
But you want to talk about a good lineup? That Blue Jay lineup with Vlad, it's pretty fucking good too. I mean,
yeah, because I mean, we mentioned it earlier with Teosco and Bichette and
Lords and
Biggio.
Yeah, and Kirk, a pretty good hitting catcher, made the roster. So it's about launch angle with him. You know, we know how good of a hitter he is. We've seen him hit homers in the Derby. We know he can do it. I don't know that's tough. For week one matchup, you get Arenado in Cincinnati, Vlad at the Yankees. I guess the Yankees pitching is maybe a little better than
after Garrett Cole, like we discussed.
Yeah, it's like Garrett Cole, Luis Castillo, and then after that for both sides it's kind of meh. Flip a coin. I wouldn't be disappointed to have either guy on my week one roster. Flip a coin. Shortstop, I guess Didi maybe gets the slight nod over Willie Castro.
Better lineup.
Better lineup. Didi's been good before. And I'm giving the St. Louis outfield the nod, probably in every position. Right field, JD's better than Avasale. Center, I like Hicks over Reynolds. Hicks says he wants to hit 30-plus homers.
The only one that he might is what is Jordan?
Yeah, what is he? Is he going to stay healthy? If he stays healthy, he's a machine. It seems like he's a great hitter.
But the same thing can be said for what?
Yeah, the same glimpse of being a great hitter has been shown by Randy Arozarena. Yeah. So I mean, you can flip a coin between those two as well. I think almost it comes down to the pitching,
which I scrolled down earlier.
It's Jeff.
Yeah,
it's Jeff for me. Yeah, it's Jeff. Jeff has good pitching. I kind of feel like an idiot for Scherzer ending up on the Cardinals now with Gossman, Maeda, and a pretty good relief core as well. I think I'm giving this. I mean, Pittsburgh's pitching is not bad. It's the depth is a little bit better than what you see on the lineup right now with Lynn Blom and Cal Quantrill in there. He does have McCullers. He does have what's his face? Brady Singer.
Yep.
He's got some starts like sitting on his. He's got Zach Eflin.
Yeah, he's got Mitch Keller. I mean, I said that this year. That's my plant my flag guy. Like,
yeah,
I think he's a breakout this year. But we're talking week one.
Week one. Yeah, but then again on the bench, Jeff has Tyone.
Yeah.
He's got Urquidy. He's got Merrill Kelly. Merrill Kelly, who's looked great this spring. He's looked great. Like, weirdly enough, Merrill Kelly has looked pretty good. I think I'm still going to give the pitching edge to, even though the depth is better than it appears on the surface for the Pirates, the pitching edge goes to the Cardinals. And I think I like Jeff to start the year 3-0.
Yeah.
I think I do. That Central's, man, the man, these guys going back and forth in the Central is going to be fun. These are two well-balanced teams. That Central Division is funky, man. You got the Brewers with like some of the super prospects, but until they come around, he's hurting, and then even when they do, he's still hurting with pitching. But man, that lineup is going to be deadly if Kelenic and J-Rod are, what they could be. And then a couple of really well-balanced and deep teams in Pittsburgh and St. Louis. Man, yeah, tough division. We've done Cubs. We've done Cardinals. Now let's just stick with the Pirates. They're right here. Pirates and Cardinals we just did. How about Pirates, Blue Jays?
Okay.
Boy, another one with a couple of real nice matchups, especially one at third base. Matt Chapman, Vlad Guerrero Jr. If you ask Mark, Chapman is his guy, is his plant your flag guy. So you got to think, he's very high on Chapman, but it's Vlad, and I know he's been kind of a polarizing player. But give me the guy that's done it already. Chapman's done it already. We don't get points for defense, but he's not a bad bat. He's a 30-plus homer bat as well. And that's something that he's done at the major league level that Vlad hasn't really. So give me a Chapman, give me an Arenado until Vlad shows that he can, definitely put up those kind of numbers. Anything else stand out to you on the infield side? You take an Olsen over Crone probably.
Yeah, and that's another one. That's another one if we're talking in June or July.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? I mean, Olsen, he's a legitimate 45 homer bat
for sure.
Like anywhere. So, but will it be 45 kind of like Joey Gallo? Will it be 45 homers with a 210, or will it be 45 homers with a 250, 260 and be really valuable? Did you just start a draft?
Yeah, I'm in a draft. I'm doing a draft.
Yes.
I've got pick 16.
Is it a 16-team league?
20.
Oh, man.
It's a guillotine. Have you ever done the guillotine?
I've done guillotine in football, but I have not done them in baseball. Yeah, but I am familiar. I'm giving Mark the nod here. At short, Adalberto over Willie Castro. And the outfield is a bit, I like Jordan over Dahl, but I like Grichuk over Brian Reynolds. And the right field, Avasale and Chas McCormick. As much as Mark likes Chas McCormick, it's a bit of a flip for me.
I think isn't Chas the guy that was supposed to be up if Straw didn't play?
And I think he did make the team, though. I think he made the team anyway.
In the B game. Okay.
No, he played in the beginning. Man, maybe that hasn't been decided yet. Shit, I don't know, because that was just on the 29th. That was just yesterday. So I'm not sure. But the bats for these two are pretty – they go back and forth, like advantage here, advantage here, advantage here. So
there's definitely not like in some of the other ones we've seen, one has an infield, the other doesn't have an outfield. One has outfield. So, these are pretty balanced.
What about this pitching? What do you think about the pitching?
Let's see.
That
Mark was one of them I looked at that. You look at his bench pitching versus starting.
Yeah, Mark's pitching, Corbin Burns, Pablo Lopez, Yarbrough is sneaky good.
In this format, yeah.
And pair that with Giolito, that is very tough. In a week-to-week matchup, that is very tough. And I think I like it a little. I mean, Bundy and McCullers and Eflin is a nice 1-2-3. And you throw in getting a good start, out of a Brady Singer or, when Matt Manning comes up halfway through the year. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about week one. I think I like Mark's pitching for week one.
Yes.
Bundy's opening up against the White Sox, even without Eloy, a pretty tough lineup. Not horribly tough. They're going to strike out quite a bit. Lou Bob strikes out a ton. Tim Anderson strikes out. But I think what do you think? I'm giving a slight nod to Blue Jay pitching. What do you think?
Yeah. Yes.
You too?
And it's what this week looks like. Like who's Milwaukee at? Minnesota open?
Yeah, Minnesota.
Well, who's Woodruff's got it? Where does Burns slot in there?
Oh, geez, is he the number one?
No, I think it's Woodruff.
Oh, yeah, Woody. Yeah, so he's the number two.
So he gets Minnesota and St. Louis.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that. I'd be okay with that if I'm getting two starts out of him.
Yeah.
One of them's not against, like the Dodgers. I'm pretty satisfied.
But Minnesota is one of those teams, like, as a starting pitcher, you can either get strikeouts or get lit up for 4
They're
home
weirdly good. Yeah, I mean, a couple years ago, they set the all-time record for home runs in a season. Or whatever. I know it's not the exact same team, but you still have Donaldson and Nelly and Buxton and Sano and it's not a easy lineup to face, but you could face two shittier lineups for a 2-start week if you're Corbin Burns. I wouldn't fear the Cardinal lineup that much at all right now. I think I'm giving slight nod to the Jays, and maybe they beat the Padres. Ooh, who are you taking?
Here we go. Oh, gosh.
Is this a head-to-head?
No, guillotine, so straight points.
Straight points?
At 16, I got Buehler.
Okay.
Just because points, especially in this, it's total points. It's not like each
right, just week-to-week points.
Week points.
Almost,
if you get like a big lead
over
over the rest of the people, you can be safe. Yeah.
Right, and all you're trying to do is not last.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Take comfortable. Later on, guys like Marcus Stroman and stuff are going to be valuable in a league like that. Just like sure innings.
Well, you only get 1,500 innings pitched. And
that's fair. That's fairly standard, I think. 1,500. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you stop getting points for pitchers. So if you get a lead,
you can sit guys. For the rest of the is it daily lineups?
Yep, daily swap.
Okay, yep. So yeah, if you have a massive lead, if you have 3 outfielders that all hit 3 homers the first day, you can maybe take a day off for a pitcher.
So we got
let's Pirates and who?
Astros.
Astros, yeah, Pirates, Astros. What the hell? Started me on their bench. I was like, why does it look like that? The Astros, kind of the first look at them tonight, at least. A pretty nice, really good-looking outfield. A really good-looking outfield, especially if you include Tommy Pham.
Yeah.
I'm giving the overall offensive nod to the Astros almost at every position except maybe third base, where it's Vlad against J.D. Davis.
Well, who's he got at catcher?
Thomas Nido. I mean, catcher. You either have one of the top 3 catchers.
Oh, I know.
You have all the rest.
I'm just saying, isn't Cisco at least the starter in Baltimore?
Yeah, he'll probably get more AB. So give him, the slight edge at catcher. But then, man, look out! The Astros are a team you do not want to face on a week-to-week. That is a very good outfield of Kyle Tucker, McCutchen, and Conforto, and then Tommy Pham, and then I haven't looked at his bench until we did the breakdown show. So the outfield bench is pretty weak.
Hey, who do you guys start the season with? St. Louis,
Cincinnati.
Because I can either choose Scherzer or Flaherty.
Oh, Scherzer, man, Scherzer. That's a gift. Scherzer, yeah, that's a gift. Take him and enjoy the fucking Cy Young. Yeah, starting a point, any kind of point league, Buehler, Scherzer.
It's 20 teams.
Yeah, and a 20 team right there. You got to be pretty happy about that.
Yeah.
So yeah, to be quicker about it, the Astros offense kills the Pirates offense, but the pitching, I don't hate the pitching either. Fried, Musgrove, and Smiley.
And that's it.
But I think that's it. Then you're looking at Steven Matz, Michael Wacha. Amir Garrett is going to be a really good reliever, but I do think the starting pitching nod goes to Pittsburgh.
Oh, yes.
Knowing that with the Eflin and McCullers and
I know not many people like him, but he has Keller, doesn't he?
Brady Singer. Yeah, he's got Keller. Man, it must have it's like starting to get dark because I'm in my garage and it's gotten like 10 degrees cooler in here since I started doing this.
Welcome to the mountain.
What the weather's like in Colorado. Even when it's nice and sunny and like 60 here during the day, but as soon as that sun goes down, that's it.
Yesterday we had a record high of 73. Today we were 24 and snowy.
Yeah. Astros over Pirates. I'm going Astros over Pirates.
Who else do we have left in the century? We did Cardinals, Cubs, Pirates, Brewers.
We've got the rest. I think we've done 2 with the Brewers already, just incidentally. So to recap the Pirates, I guess I have them. If it breaks right, they beat the Jays. But my other prediction, I think both of our other predictions were looking like maybe they start 1-2. Mm-hmm. And if maybe things break right, they start 2-1. Maybe they beat. I think the Astros are going to beat the Pirates. The Astros are a tough team. And his pitching is just good enough to where it's that offense can really carry you. if he loses an arm or if he
or
loses, say,
you get a PPD and you lose a start or something.
Yeah, if you lose a star, then the depth is questionable, especially in the outfield. Yeah, you slip Tommy Pham in there, but then who's your utility bat?
Yeah,
you know, it's a slippery slope. That's going to be that way with every team in a 30-teamer. If we're just looking at this matchup, I don't want to face the Astros in a short matchup at all. The Pirates got some depth, but especially, man, he's sneaky. Austin Slater could be a sneaky, especially in a daily lineup league. He could really be decent. But, man, I like that Astro lineup. I really like it. So, Duke, maybe you go 2-1, but Tony.
I really love his pitching long term, though. Pirates.
Yeah, and he's got a great crop of relievers as well. And he's got he's got a good mix of like higher level prospects. I love Jackson Cower. Cower. You got him and Matt Manning. Pierce Johnson could eventually be a leverage reliever. Probably not this year, but like
he was. On a side note, every trade we discussed had Manoah involved. I love that Alec Manoah. He worked very hard to get Manoah off me. I actually drafted him in the draft for $1, and I like him a lot.
Yeah, he's well built for
the long term.
Yeah, competing now and not being devastated in the future if his window doesn't come to fruition immediately. All right, who else? The Brewers. What matchup did we miss for the Brewers? We did Brewers Phillies, and we did Brewers
Cardinals, I think.
Someone. No, because we did the Cardinals already.
Yeah, so Brewers Cardinals. We did Brewers Phillies. Yep, you said that.
Yeah, we did Brewers Phillies. We did Brewers Cardinals. Does he only have 2?
Let me see.
He might only have 2 matchups. We might be on to the Reds. A pretty
Cubs
team. Oh, we did Cubs already. So yeah, we've covered them. Oh no, Brewers Mariners. The very last matchup on my list here. Brewers Mariners. So we've kind of broke down. We'll save it for when we get to the Mariners because we kind of already broke down the Brewers. His holes, especially in the pitching staff. And we know the Mariners, without looking at his lineup, are built to win now. It's been discussed time and again. I'm gonna give the Brewers the L against the Mariners without getting too much into it, just for the sake of speed. And we'll get to the Mariners and break him down a little bit, like when we get to the AL. But to finish off the Brewers, he's gonna lose to the Mariners. Sorry, Rob. Let's go to the Reds. The first one I find is Reds-Yankees.
We've had to have done one of his matchups, right?
I don't think so. I have not seen this Reds team yet because he's got Freddie Freeman, he's got Cabrian Hayes, he's got Xander.
How did he not get a?
He doesn't have a division in the first week.
Yeah, he just has the Rangers and Yankees.
Yeah, so this. I thought I was, saying enough good thing. I was like, oh, Freeman and Cabrian Hayes and Xander. And then you just keep scrolling down. He's got Acuna.
Yeah.
And then, the pitching. The pitching for the Reds. You give him the offensive nod, even against a pretty good offensive.
Well, and he doesn't even have a utility in there.
Yeah, not yet. But, I mean, the rest of it is so, just Freeman, Hayes, Bogaerts, and Acuna alone. And the Yankees are a pretty good – Hosmer and Suarez, Dansby, but he's going to be losing Trent Grisham.
Yep. Well, he has Will Myers, so
the bench. But he's got Jay up. He's got Jay up on the bench. He's got Taylor Trammell. Yeah, he's got Taylor Trammell. He's got Shogo Akiyama once he comes off the IL. He's got Brendan Rodgers once he's ready to play again. The Yankee team is quite deep.
Yes.
And I like his pitching.
We're looking at it a snapshot now.
Yeah.
You like the star power of one team, but we may talk in June, and Freddie Freeman may be on the injured list or what. I'm not trying to wish injuries.
Well, the pitching. You look at the Reds pitching. It's pretty thin. I mean, when your number one
is Cobb,
is AJ Puck or Cobb maybe. This is clearly not where he put a lot of his money. He does have Domingo Herman. He's got Josiah Gray waiting in the wings. So maybe his number one is Domingo Germán, actually, the 3 or 4 for the Yankees. But his top 3 are Germán, Cobb, and Puck, as opposed to like Eovaldi, Zach Davies, Dylan Cease. The ghost of Pedro Martinez apparently playing shortstop for Tampa Bay. But I do like, he's got Skubal. The Yankees have Skubal. Kopech. Yeah, the Yankee pitching. So the question with this matchup in particular is the Yankee hitting good enough to where his pitching will take him over the Reds in week 1? I think maybe it is.
He's got 2 hitters. The Reds have 2 hitters that can pretty much win you a matchup.
Sure.
With Freeman and Betts or Acuna, whichever
Acuna and Xander, for that matter.
Yeah.
He's got 3. I mean, those guys go off and have a hot week at the same time. You're gonna need your pitching to be at its best, and you're gonna need your hitting to be like really good too. But he might be facing at least one team in week 1 that can do that, because this offense, maybe it's not as good as Cincinnati, but it can run. I mean, Suarez, I give Suarez the nod over Cabrian. And Will Myers over probably both Jahmai Jones and Tyrone Taylor. I don't know that Tyrone Taylor even has a major league spot.
Yeah.
And the bench outfield for Linney is almost non-existent on a major league level. So the depth is not really there for that. As good as that offense looks, the depth is not there. And the Yankees do have pretty good pitching. This is going to be a tough matchup for both of these guys.
Yes.
It's going to be really tough for it's going to come down probably to like the pitching and like the little nitpicky shit, like how well do the Braves start? Do Freeman and Acuna, start right up together? Because on the flip side of that, you got Dansby Swanson in the other lineup. So you're not hoping that Dansby's getting on and then getting driven in by whoever, Freeman or the lineup probably doesn't work out that way, but you take my point.
Yeah.
It's gonna be tough. I think I might give the nod to maybe the Yankees because of the pitching and the depth. You're missing the utility spot. You're really missing the right field spot, and you're maybe missing the center field spot for Cincinnati. Jones was optioned to AAA on the 26th, so he's got nobody in center field right now. He's got nobody in center, nobody in right, and nobody like imminently to take over. So that's, hey buddy, that's scary for Linney. Yeah, give me the Yankees. Whoa.
All right, so we're now on to the West.
Well, we're on to Cincy and the Rangers, yeah. Who the Rangers still have Eloy in the lineup.
Oh, he's the one who has Eloy then.
Yeah, now he does. He's got Renato Nunez in the lineup, who was sent down. So Sam, he does have Luis Castillo. He does have Hyunjin Ryu. The pitching is already much better than Cincinnati's, just on the strength of those two. He's got Yanni Chirinos, will be back eventually. Jimmy Nelson made the Dodgers.
Wow.
And so Sam's sitting on him on the bench. Josh James at some point. Boy, the offense is much better for Cincinnati, though.
Yes.
Freeman over pretty much non-existent first baseman. Texas gets the nod at catcher.
Yes.
Cabrian's probably better than Dahlbeck, even though we don't get penalized for the strikeouts. Dahlbeck strikes out 40% of the time. He's got big power. But at third and short, left side of the infield, you're giving it to Cincinnati. And you're probably giving the outfield to Texas. Even though he's losing Eloy, he's got Ramon Laureano and Austin Meadows. But Sam's utility spot is another catcher. So Yeah, this is an interesting matchup. I give it to Texas on the strength of the pitching.
Well, he's got pitching too. He has Castillo.
He's got Castillo. He's got Ryu. Just on those, I'd probably give him the matchup. I mean, he's got Framber. That's not going to affect week 1, of course, but the relievers aren't bad. Paul Fry is actually not that bad. At least for innings, he's going to throw some innings out of it. He's like guaranteed a spot in the pen. This is a tough matchup. Give it to Texas for the pitching, though. I think Lenny could start 0-2. I really do. 0-2. That's his matchups. Yeah, I think Cincy could easily start 0-2. How you doing with your draft? You need to dip out or anything?
Oh no, I'm fine. It's 16 teams, and I'm on like the term.
Right. I just don't want to
I'm going back and I'm good.
I don't want to fuck you up. All right. Let's move to the West. Let's go ahead and get me.
But I am going to let the dogs in, so that'll be 30 seconds.
Okay, that's fine. I'll just start with me and the Giants here.
Okay.
So as I've said on the Discord, I'm quite worried about the first few weeks of my team, the first month or whatever, with now no Sixto, no Gallen. What I thought was a strength in my pitching has become somewhat of a weakness. I have picked up I got Tanner Scott in Fabapalooza. I got Chad Green in Fabapalooza. Wade Davis and Chris Davinsky both recently made the team. But I am scared. So let's see. Do I need to be scared of the Giants? Right now, his catcher is not a big league catcher. It's Joey Bart. Does he have anybody? Miguel Amaya. He doesn't have a big league catcher right now. So even though mine's Martin Maldonado, I give myself the slight edge at catcher just for having one that will play. Christian Walker and Ryan Mountcastle. Mountcastle looked really good in the short season. Like, he looked really good. Walker has done it in the bigs for longer, but Walker does have to start the year facing the pitching of the Padres, while Mountcastle faces the Red Sox, notably worse pitching than the Padres. Yes. So maybe give the nod to Mountcastle over Walker just because of who they have to face. Second base, I'm starting Ty France at second base to start the year. So this is pretty much my lineup. You can be assured of that. I'm starting Ty France. I do give him the nod over Pat Valaika. It's not even sure that Valaika is going to be a starter. He may be a bench guy. He might.
They're talking about, who was it that Baltimore signed Franco, and then they had Rio Ruiz, remember?
They had Rio Ruiz and they had Yomer Sanchez.
Well, and Rio Ruiz has been working out at second.
Yeah.
So I think that might be his new home with Franco.
I'm giving myself Ty France over Valaika.
Yeah.
I'm going to give myself Mike Moustakas over Abraham Toro as well.
You'll give yourself Simmons over Tatis?
Yeah, why not? Of course, Tatis, the next two, Tatis and Soto, are a nightmare any week-to-week matchup. You run into a team that has Tatis and Soto, you're taking a gulp. I like Lourdes, but of course he's not better than Soto. He could easily be the number one bat. He could have the number 1 and 2 bats in fantasy. He could very easily. Center field, I do like Lou Bob over Jacoby Jones. Yep. Right fields, maybe I'm biased. I hate Gregory Polanco. I like Dylan Carlson. I'm seeing a lot of guys pick Rookie of the Year for Dylan Carlson. If they think he's going to be Rookie of the Year, you got to like him over Gregory Polanco.
And see, I've been a Polanco guy, but for Polanco, for me, it's more of he's an amazing season-long roto player. You just put him in there, and you're going to get what you're going to get at the end of the year. You ride hot and cold streak.
Yeah,
he's not consistent. Yeah, but I mean, he's going to get you double-digit home runs and steals usually, which that's something to be said. In a roto.
If he's healthy, yeah. But it's a big if with him. He hasn't been healthy in forever. It seems like.
Yeah, but I mean, you give the nod to Carlson here.
Okay. Yeah, overall, the outfield, I know he does have Soto, but Soto, Jacoby Jones, Gregory Polanco, Lourdes Gurriel, Luis Robert, Dylan Carlson. I like my outfield. And then utility, Joey Gallo and Darren Ruff. I like my utility. So I like my bats
Yes.
so far over the Giants. I addressed while you were letting the dogs in how devastated my pitching has become with no Gallen, no Sixto to open the season. But even against the Giants pitching specifically, I still have Cole, of course. I've got Eliser. I've got Dean Kremer, who has been assured a spot in the rotation.
So I think, of those top three, two of those were guys I had.
Yeah, I got them both from you. Yeah. I got Eliser and Kremer, both from you. And I'm going to be throwing them at Keegan Aiken, who does he have – no, option to AAA. So his number one is Bumgarner. Logan Webb has gotten a lot of late spring helium. People are loving Logan Webb.
But that's it.
That's not going to help him. Yeah, that's not going to help him right now. He's sitting on some good young names. Zach Thompson, a good prospect.
Rodon's up there, isn't he? He's with the big league.
Yeah, Rodon will be, I think, with a big league club, but he's going to be a reliever.
I thought he's a starter. What did that last thing say? Because I thought he pitched 4 and whatever.
Let's see. Allowed 2 runs on 5 hits and 1 walk while striking out 6 over 4 2/3. He's thrown 13 2/3.
5th starter.
Chicago's 5th starter, it says. Nice. Okay, so that is something. I mean, that's innings.
And I think I remember he added and this is not for this week, this is further down. He added another pitch. Rodon did. So
I would like to see him make it back. Him and Danny Salazar.
Yeah.
I would like to see make it back and be decent again. Even with my weekend pitching, I still like it over the Giants right now. I like me over the Giants.
Yes. I will agree with that.
Let's move to me and the Indians. This is where maybe it gets a little trickier for me. Starting with the bats, Tom Murphy, Martin Maldonado. I don't care. You can give him Murphy if you want. I know Maldonado's not good. But first base, he's got C-Ris Davis and nothing else.
Oh, he has C-Ris. He picked him up, and he's on the IL for 6 months.
Yeah, so he
is it 6 months?
It's what does track say? June 1st. Yeah, he's on the 60.
Yeah.
So right now the Indians don't have a first baseman that I see. Now I know it doesn't give. It's not. When you're looking at live scoring, it does give everybody's total eligibility. But just as I'm scanning, I don't see
another first base.
Anything in the way of first base. So I'm giving myself first base. Gavin Lux and Ty France. If Lux has playing time, I like him. I know France has playing time. And he's hit the shit out of the ball in the spring. He hit 417 for the spring and hit 5 homers. So he's going to play third. He's going to play second. He's going to DH. With Lux, the Dodgers, Zach McKinstry made the team. They still have Chris Taylor. He's going to be up on the club, but how often is he going to play? I think you could really flip a coin. Lux is the better player, but France just might have more at bats to start the week. You can call it a draw.
Yeah.
Moncada, Moustakas.
I like Moncada.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I think I don't know if it's going to be this year, but I've said it. I think he's got an MVP season in him still somewhere. I don't know if it's going to be this year, but when that lineup's all healthy and when everything's firing, that guy's got the talent.
And he was the centerpiece of the Sale deal, wasn't he?
Yeah.
The Chris Sale.
Mm-hmm. I don't know who this Yu Chang is for his shortstop. It says he was informed that he'd won a bench spot on Cleveland's roster. We know that it's Jimenez. Jimenez, right? Shortstop for Cleveland. That's who it's going to be. Yeah. So I'm going to give myself Andrelton just because he's going to be playing every day. He's going to have more ABs. He's probably going to score more points.
Just by that volume.
Yeah, and outfield, we know my outfield. I like it a lot better than Kairis Davis, Larry Garcia, Brent Rooker, who I don't think has a big league spot. I'm giving myself my outfield and
Yes.
Joey Gallo at utility over Matt Duffy. But the pitching,
Wow.
yeah, he's got Strass. He's got Mike Minor, who is like kind of quietly underrated in points leagues because he's like a 7-inning guy, you know.
He's got Tehran, who's got a job, right? Archer's got a job.
He's got Matt Bush, who I tried in every league that I could that, you know, saves mattered. I picked up Matt Bush because he very easily could be the closer for the Rangers. He's got Andrew Miller. He's got – boy, I don't know. He's got Archer. He's got Chase Anderson. So, like, looking at it as we're stacked up right now, whose pitching do you like here between me and Cleveland?
I think he's got – who is your number one? Sorry, again.
Garrett Cole's my number one.
Okay, well, never mind then. I was going to say, because I'm looking at the screen, right? If you just scroll up one click, there you go. Okay, because I couldn't see Cole.
Yeah, so if you're saying like Cole and Strass are probably the number ones, I like my number one, but I actually like Cleveland's number two. If my number two right now is Dean Krimmer or Elieser, I like Mike Minor quite a bit over either of those guys.
Yes.
Not for the long term, but for this matchup, I like Mike Minor, especially playing against Texas. Tehran,
he's starting.
I don't know what – I mean, I probably like – honestly, I probably like Krimmer or Elieser over Tehran, but he seems like one of those guys that's like, well, they're just going to let him throw, you know?
Yep.
Like, we need to give the bullpen a rest or whatever. Go ahead and just eat up some innings.
I really think he had a lot of pressure in Atlanta.
He had a big expectation to live up to.
He has zero pressure in Detroit. Zero.
That's true.
You know, it could just be one of those things where it's a change of scenery where it just, who knows? Different, you know. But we're talking about this week. We're not talking about long term. We're talking about this week.
I think, you know, Garrett Cole, I think my offense, I'm giving, you know, maybe I'm biased. I'm going to give myself the W.
I was
projected W over Cleveland. The fact that Mark does not have a first baseman. He just doesn't have a first baseman.
Yeah.
He doesn't have one.
And that's a pretty big position not to.
And he's got some nice specs. I mean, he's got Heston Kjerstad, he's got Joe Adell, he's got Khalil Lee, like he's got Jason Dominguez. Like this guy he's got Wander Franco, like he has set himself up to be a powerhouse. He's just not there yet. And I'm pretty sure those are my only two matchups. So we can go. We're in the West. Let's go to San Diego. We've already done one of his. At least we've done him in the Giants and we've done him in the DC. So let's do San Diego and the Tigers.
Okay.
And we've done both these guys already. I love this Tigers team. I'm giving him the offensive nod, and this is a team with two probably top three catchers, but the Tigers happen to have who will probably be number one. You give the first base Goldie over Jared Walsh. Okay. I like Ryan McMahon over John Birdie. Birdie's not even assured all of his playing. You know, he's a super utility. He's going to get at bats, but we don't know when they're going to be. Machado over Bryant.
Yeah.
Seems like a no-brainer. I think Polanco – I don't know what Polanco – because Andrelton's probably going to be the main guy, right, in Minnesota?
Yeah, I don't know.
Are they going to have Polanco shift to second base?
I have no – I'm pulling that up right now. So
I think it's a coin toss really between him and Arcia anyway. I'm just curious what the –
They actually have Polanco at second.
Okay, so that kind of hurts my Luis Arias love, but I always scoop him up late rounds of Roto League because he's such a batting average. He's like Nick Madrigal, he's got no power. He's all average. Might steal a few bases. I like the Detroit outfield, Soler, Verdugo.
Yes.
Yeah, I really like them.
But the Padres have the for sure edge in utility.
Yeah. I mean, after Dozier's no slouch, but Nelly is.
No, it's not Nelson Cruz. Yeah.
And the pitching is close, but I like, the Padre pitching, Darvish and Captain Jack.
It's tough to – that's going to be
tough too. And then he's got maybe the top reliever in Liam Hendricks. But the Tigers relievers are very good as well. Karinchak, Pomeranz, Sims, all guys that are going to get save shares. This is a tough matchup.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't know who I like. Boy, I don't know who I like. This is tough. I think give it to the Padres just for the pitching. Like, just for Darvish and Captain Jack.
Not top-end pitching.
Darvish gets Arizona to open it up, and Arizona's not a good lineup. He could easily, go 7 and strike out 10 or 12. Like, Darvish could have a monster game.
Same thing with Jack.
Yeah. Yeah, give the slight nod to the Padres. Who else is in the freaking what? The D-backs. Let's go to the D-backs. And I'm gonna find the matchup, and I'm gonna let you talk about it because I have to pee so bad.
Okay, you're fine.
So how about D-backs, Red Sox?
I'm
gonna scroll down.
Yeah, I got pulled up on my screen. So
I'll be back quickly.
Okay, sounds good. So let's see here. Yeah, D-backs, Red Sox. Okay, so I would give the nod of Gary Sanchez over Jansen. Sanchez could go off at any point. At any point, he could be boom or bust, but I like Sanchez over Jansen. I think Tommy La Stella is just more of an average guy, and I like Sano more at first base than La Stella. We just talked about Luis Arias, and it looks like Christian Arroyo, they're both going to be similar guys where they're probably going to be utility guys, it looks like. Probably call that a coin flip right there. Looks like Jed Lowry has made the roster. I just had to pull that up. I don't know. So I don't even know if he'd have a position, whereas Riley has a position. And I mean, Lowry has a position, but I don't know if he has a solid spot. I'd give Riley the edge over Lowry there. Simeon and Fletcher's probably a coin flip for me. And here's Allen. So what I had Sanchez over Jansen.
Sure.
I had Sano over La Stella. Just because I think the power Sano could hit you 3 or 4.
Yeah, he easily. Yeah, but man, Tommy Stella's no slouch. And
he's not.
He walks.
I just remember him as the bench batter for the Cubs. That's all I remember. Like he was brought in.
Sure, yeah.
Like he's going to get you a hit, but yeah, he could go 5 for 15 or whatever and have a good average for the week or whatever it equates out to. Right. But Snow could hit you 3 or 4 bombs. And then the rest of, let's see, I was down to the outfield. Go back up a little. I had I had Riley over Lowry. Just because I don't know where Lowry's going to play Oakland.
Yeah, it's too hard to give Jed Lowry credit for anything, really.
And I think I had the shortstop kind of a push.
I'd probably give the nod to Simeon,
yeah,
just because. But yeah, probably Fletcher is not a bum. Fletcher doesn't strike out. He gets on base.
Where does he even hit in that lineup?
I don't know. He feels like a 2 guy to me, but I know Trout is often in that.
Fletcher, we're talking about, right?
Yeah. Where does Fletcher?
Lead off.
He's the leadoff man. Okay.
Yeah, they have Fletcher, Ohtani, Trout, Rendon, Upton. Those aren't 4 guys that are bad to hit behind. Ohtani, Trout, Rendon, and Upton.
Well, these outfields are tough. You got to give. I like the D-backs outfield. I like a lot. I love Castellanos, especially in a points league. And if Stanton's healthy, he's Stanton. But Schwarber walks a ton. He hits a ton of homers.
Yep.
Mike Trout is Mike Trout.
Correct.
And Tyler O'Neill could be sneaky good.
Is he an everyday player for you guys?
Man, I think he will be to start the, especially with no Harrison Bader.
Okay.
I think he's going to be the everyday left fielder. So the Red Sox outfield is getting the nod for me. As much as I do like the D-back outfield, but boy, the D-backs pitching is going to get the nod for me. Just straight away looking at it: Kluber, Ohtani, Paxton, Heaney, Lester, Paddock.
Oh, sorry about that.
Check the benches real quick. Oh yeah, and D-backs are sitting on Carrasco and Luis Severino, and 100 Miles, Ken Giles, and Chris Sale. So this is another team that's kind of built for the future in a different way than Mark's Indians. He's built for the future in that as soon as these guys come back from injuries, he's going to have a devastating pitching staff. Imagine Sale, Carrasco, Kluber, Paxton, Ohtani, Severino, and then Ken Giles and like Tommy Kahnle come in. Man, like that's a hell of a staff if those guys are ever all healthy at the same time.
That's the big question.
Will they ever be? All right, I gotta try to get through. I was supposed to grill steaks tonight, and I haven't even started the grill yet, and it's 20-7. I gotta try to get through this.
Do you want to stop with the NL?
Well, yeah, maybe because I really didn't plan on doing it again tomorrow because I got a ton of lineups I need to, set. So I don't want to bail halfway through. But let's just try to really rip through some of these.
Okay. Who do we got the Diamondbacks against two now?
Diamondbacks, it was the Red Sox. So yeah, sorry, Danny. If anybody slogs through 2 hours and 40 minutes of this, I told my dad when we got on, I'm like, man, I'd really love to clock this in under 2 hours if possible, because I'm going to cook steak tonight. I'm at 2 hours 40 minutes and not even done with the National League. So I need to work on my I don't know what you would say, my timing. I don't know. Arizona and the Dodgers.
Oh, yeah.
I think I can make pretty quick work of this one. The Dodgers have one of the deeper teams in the league. Dodger Joe put together a pretty good team. It's not filled with superstars, but it's filled with points guys. It's Charlie Blackmon. It's Mark Canha, the walks machine and probable leadoff hitter. Yeah, Devers, Max Muncy of extreme eligibility. You can put him anywhere. Grandal is a walks machine at catcher.
Contreras.
The pitching leaves a lot to be desired. But Arihara is in the Texas. He might be the number 2 for Texas. Freddie Peralta is very good. Robbie Ray is not starting the year in the rotation because he's hurt, but is a strikeout machine. I like the Dodger team a lot. They're kind of up there with me with like the Yankees and the Tigers as they don't blow your eyes out with the star power like the Mariners do, but he's a very deep team, and he's like good to go now, and he's good to go down the road too. I give the Dodgers the nod over the D-backs. Well, man, I don't know. The D-backs pitching is I do. I think I give the Dodgers the nod just for the the depth. When you look at Peralta and stuff on the bench, you see that he's got a little more pitching depth there than it initially looks like. Arihara, Cueto even. So, yeah, I like the Dodgers.
He's got enough pitching depth now.
Yeah, he's got enough now, and the offense is considerably better all around, I think, than the D-backs. I'm almost counting a 0 for Jed Lowry, and you don't know what you're going to get out of Arias at second base.
No.
With the Twins. Speaking of the Twins, last matchup for the D-backs, the Minnesota Twins. Yeah, so I'm ripping through them, man. I'm ripping through them. So yeah, I'm just gonna blow down here. If you see anything that you want to bring it up. Otherwise, we're just gonna, Bellinger's better than La Stella. We know that.
Right.
Alex Bregman's better than Jed Lowry. Tommy Edman's gonna be hitting leadoff. Yes. I don't know if I like him over Semien, but he's hitting leadoff in a pretty decent lineup. The outfield goes to the D-backs here. This is a pretty weak outfield for the Twins. but the pitching is pretty good for the Twins. They've got some depth. He's got some innings. He's got some good relievers. I like the Twins pitching. Even if you're looking at like Trevor Williams and Wade Miley, even if you're looking at those guys, it's still depth. In a 30-team league, it's still depth,
which is key.
Colby Aller starting the year in AAA. I think Berea got sent down as well, but those guys are right there. Kyle Wright will be in AAA, kind of waiting. So kind of like the injured guys are waiting for the D-backs. The Twins have some guys that are like on the cusp or an injury away from taking a rotation spot. Some good specs. Larnack and stuff. It doesn't matter for week 1. I like the Twins. I like the Twins this week.
Yes.
This matchup. McKenzie, Barrios, Anderson, that's a really good 1-2-3. I know Kluber, Ohtani, Paxton's a good 1-2-3, but when you combine it with the offense, with Bellinger and Bregman, 2 superstars on offense, I like the Twins. It's going to be a close matchup, I think. I think it'll be a close matchup, but I like the Twins.
Yeah.
How about the Dodgers? Dodgers-Yankees. Here's a battle of 2 like deep titans, really. Boy, who do you like? Who do you like? Dodgers, Yankees. Who do you like?
Let's see here. Nothing is sticking out as a huge edge.
No, this is tough.
Maybe the Grisham Blackman.
Yeah, Grisham's not going to be there. So, who are we looking at for a bench outfielder? Yeah, that was pretty. He's looking at probably Jay Up, but Jay Up plays left.
Or Trammell.
Yeah, Trammell. It's got to be Trammell. Boy, what a tough matchup. This is going to be one of the really interesting matchups. We've had a few, and this is another one.
Well, you don't really love, even though we said the weather's not great in Colorado, but you don't really love starting a pitcher in Colorado.
No, you don't. You definitely don't, especially against the Dodgers.
Yeah. Yeah. Who have all the expectations in the world.
Yeah, I give the nod to the Yankee pitching, at least for the matchup.
Yeah, I mean, you got Evaldi against Baltimore.
Yeah, and Zach Davies is not a sexy name, but he's going to eat up some innings for that Cub team, and he's probably going to have fairly decent. He's not Kyle Hendricks, but he's going to have decent ratios. So in a points league, a guy that eats up innings maybe puts you in a position where he's probably not going to face the Pirates to open the year.
No, he'd be getting whoever we face.
Yeah, whoever's next. But I think I like the slide. Kyle Gibson is a schlub, and German Marquez at home against the Dodgers. I don't care if it's snowing that day; it's still not a lineup you want to face. And Genesis Cabrera, I don't know, is assured a spot for the Cardinals. So. That could get rough for the Dodgers early on.
It's got Lorenzen. That's who they get. The Cubs get the Brewers the second week.
Not as great of a lineup to face as the Pirates, but still not like murderers or anything. Yeah, man, give me the Yankees, I think. Give me the Yankees in this matchup.
Yep.
Good matchup, but give me the Yanks. We did the Dodgers and D-backs already. Did the Dodgers only have 2 matchups?
Giants. What about the Giants?
We did the Giants and me. I was just making sure the Dodgers didn't have a third one that we missed. Giants and Rockies we did. Giants and who else? Giants and Padres we've already done. Giants and Rangers. So we've looked at Sam's team and we looked at the Giants already. They've got Tatis and they've got Soto. Sam's got some depth. Ooh. And Sam's got the pitching. That's the thing that wins these head-to-head matchups in points leagues is the damn pitching. And it's like, is Tatis and Soto good enough to overcome Castillo and Ryu, which is really what you're going to be, fighting this week against the Rangers. But the Rangers have some decent offense as well, so it's not like they're taking zeros. I think I like the Rangers just on the strength of the pitching. Like when your number one is Bumgarner and he's opening on the road against San Diego, that's going to be a tough week, especially when you're up against Castillo and Ryu, even if you've got Tatis and Soto. So I think I like Sam in this matchup. I like the Rangers.
Did we do Dodgers, Blue Jays?
Ooh. No, I missed that. And that – where the hell? Oh, there it is. All right, Dodgers, Blue Jays. Because I think that's the last for the Giants.
Yeah.
Boy, I think I like the Jays, honestly. The Jays pitching to win the week with Pablo Lopez, Corbin Burns, Yarbrough, Giolito. I think the Blue Jay pitching is going to give the Dodgers a tough time. The Dodgers have the bats. I give the Dodgers the nod on the bats. But that pitching is going to be tough on a week-to-week. It's going to be tough for the Jays. Yeah, give me the Jays in that one. So Dodger Joe, I mean, as much as I like your team, as deep as it is.
Well, it's just one of those things like we got back to with my team too, where I just had 2 tough matchups.
Yeah, we're picking you to go 1 and 2, Dodger Joe. I'm sorry, buddy, but I'm in another league with him. As I don't remember on an RT Sports League. I mean, at least I might be playing him. We're in one together. I'm in one against Dodger Joe. Like we're all over the place. We did the Giants. Yeah, Giants, Rockies, and Giants, whoever the hell else. Yeah, Padres and Rangers. All right, so I think that's it for the NL. And we've done a lot of the AL already. So let's see if I can rip through this. AL East. We've done Rays and Braves. Here's Rays and Orioles.
All right.
The Orioles. Well, the Orioles are an interesting team. They got the Corey Seager, Mikey Yaz. He came out of the game the other day, but I think he's okay. But this is a team with Corey Seager and Jose Ramirez, so it's hard to count him out offensively against anybody.
Who's his third baseman?
Yandy D. Yeah.
Well, the only reason I'm asking that is because he has Jose Ramirez at utility,
right, and his utility. I was just saying, it's hard to count those guys out against, offensively against anybody. But then you look at the Rays.
Well, who's he got on his bench for pitching?
And that's the Albies Rendon story. Yeah, I mean, you got to give the bats. I love Seager and Ramirez, but when you're looking at Happ, Story. Rendon, Albies, I like the Rays bats.
Yeah.
And Buxton could easily have any week have a better week than Yastrzemski, easily.
Yes.
And DJ Stewart is not only hurt, I think he's guaranteed a spot. But becoming more difficult for Stewart to be ready for opening day, so he might not even be there. So let's take a look at the hitting bench, which is not there much for Baltimore. It's a lot of minor leaguers, pretty much all minor leaguers. No major league bench pieces for the outfield. So that's tough. The pitching, boy, Woodruff is the best number one. Woodruff is better than Corbin, but Gonsolin could be one of those, like I was saying with Yarbrough, he's a follower, he's going to vulture a bunch of wins. Gonsolin could easily see double-digit wins without starting a game, I feel like. And he probably will start, some games, but he's a follower and can eat innings at the same time. He's got a great repertoire. He's an awesome pitcher. It's just the Dodgers. That said, he's going to be better than Sonny Gray. Meansy and Canning. I mean, Meansy at least is guaranteed his spot. I think Canning probably is.
Yeah, Canning's guaranteed his spot.
Yeah. Give me Meansy. The guy's done it a little bit more. The bullpen probably goes to the Rays, and the depth goes to the Rays. I probably give the Rays this matchup. Okay. Even though, he's got Greinke on the bench. He's got Matt Boyd on the bench. He's got Velasquez. I don't know. Baltimore could be tough. It's maybe a little deeper pitching-wise than it looks. Maybe even deeper than the Rays. That's tough. But I think the offense is where it carries for the Rays. You add in the pretty good pitching and the offense. I think the matchup goes to the Rays. Man, I got something in my eye. How about the O's and the White Sox?
Okay.
The White Sox.
White Sox before
White Sox he was matched up against some people. We love that team. The White Sox have such a deep, nice team, and the pitching, Nola. Yeah. Gonzalez, Bieber. Before we even get to him, I'm just going to say if he has 3 matchups, Harry's going 3-0 week 1. He plays the Cubs. He plays the Tigers. White Sox Tigers. That's going to be tough. But man, it's just Nola, Bieber, Gonzalez. That's really difficult to overcome in a 1 week matchup.
Yes.
And he's got Stroman. Stroman's going to be a points machine. He's got Taylor Clark, who made the team. Plutko maybe very well in the Baltimore rotation.
I think Norris is a starter.
I know he has been. I don't know. Fill a long relief role, it says, which is probably better for him.
He could be followed by an opener.
He's one of those guys that needs to not have the lineup see him like twice through. But yeah, the White Sox are with who?
With Fulmer, Michael Fulmer.
Oh,
the Tigers. Like the Tigers have they got Manning and Mize, and then Fulmer.
Scuball,
yeah. They've got a decent set of young arms. But anyways,
they're doing it the right way. They got torque. They're doing it the right way. Yeah, give me the Sox. And then before we I think I'm taking the Sox over the Tigers just because of the pitching. We've looked at the Tigers enough. Give me the Sox.
So who the Orioles got? Did we finish them?
I think that was it. Yeah, that's 3 matchups for the O's. Who else in the AL East? The Yankees. Let's see, Yankees, Red Sox. And I think I can comfortably say give me the Yankees in this matchup.
I think I heard that this one is going to be on ESPN Sunday Night Baseball.
I wish.
Every time they play each other, it's prime.
The pitching. Give me I think the Red Sox pitching. I don't know. Lester, Paddock, and Haney.
He's got Hader.
And he's got Hader, yeah. And let's see, who did he have? No, not much on the bench. Dalton Jeffries is making the A's, though, I think. Boy, yeah, give me the starters, though. Give me the starting pitching over the Yankees. And the offense is tough. Oh, he's got Cooch, too. He's got Cooch. I love it. Yeah, give me the Red Sox pitching. The outfield, give me Schwarb and Trout over a lot of outfield, definitely over this outfield, over a lot of outfields. And O'Neill, the guy could surprise. I mean, he's a 30-plus homer, like, potential bat if they let him keep playing. He's going to hit home runs. And he's super fast. Like, Cardinals don't run a lot. Tyler O'Neill.
Oh, O'Neill, okay.
Yeah. Then the rest, you like the infield for the Yankees. Dansby, Suarez, Hosmer over Sano, Riley, Fletcher, definitely. Catcher's a wash. This is a tough matchup. Yeah. But I think I like the Red Sox pitching. I do. I think I like the Red Sox pitching. And Mike Trout, don't go against when in doubt, go Trout.
Yes.
So give me the Sox. I like Gary's Yankees. Give me the Sox.
Who else did the Sox play? I saw they played the Cardinals.
So we've done the Cardinals and the D-backs. So we've done them.
We're done with the Sox.
So let's go Yankees, Reds. We've done them.
No, Yankees, Blue
Yankees,
Jays.
Dodgers. We've done them.
Have we done Blue Jays?
Yankees, Blue Jays. But they have. Let's see, Blue Jays. I know we've done a couple of his matchups already.
Yeah.
Terrible, just terrible. Blue Jays, Dodgers. We've done. And Blue Jays, Pirates. We've done.
So then, we've done all 3 of his.
Yeah, so really, let's hit the Mariners real quick, and I think kind of like I'm bouncing all over the place. Kind of like the White Sox, I'm giving the Mariners the win. Let's take a look at Mariners Astros. Really interesting matchup, at least, because I'm giving the Mariners the win over the Angels and the Brewers. We've already done the Brewers. This is a tough match. First base, super even. Rizzo and Abreu, super even.
Yeah.
Second
especially
base.
both of them are OBP machines.
Yeah, OBP machines, RBI machines, like in good. Abreu's lineup is better than the Cubs right now, but good average hitters. Second base, super even. Whit Merrifield, DJ LeMahieu, 2 top 5 second basemen. Third base, more even than it looks. Gio Urshela, JD Davis. They're not going to get there the same way, but they're probably going to get about the same amount of points. They just won't get there the same way. And kind of the same thing at shortstop. Donovan Solano, was like a barrel machine. Like he hit the shit out of the ball. Just didn't see like necessarily the results that might show up like when a Joey Gallo barrels the shit out of the ball. And Kiner Falefa is going to play every single day, I think.
That's the thing that I think that with Kiner Falefa, and I think he gets so much love, is because he's catcher and he plays every day.
Well, is he
if
catcher
we look
in tracks? I know he's catcher on Yahoo, but I don't think he is on tracks. I don't think he is. I know he is on Yahoo. I think he's just short and third on tracks. But on Yahoo, he's my secret weapon. He's my catcher everywhere.
But that's what everybody goes for.
It's a cheat code.
Yeah. So I don't know if go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I would just say in long term, I don't know how high you could rank him as a third baseman and shortstop. So we just been comparing him against catchers who, let's face it, are just wasteland.
Right, but for the sake of this, it's just the matchup. It's just the week to week, and him and Solano, flip a coin.
Yeah.
Outfield, I like the Astros, even though the Mariners have Mookie. I like the Astros overall outfield. Tucker, McCutchen, Conforto is probably my favorite outfields, other than my own. Obviously I like my own outfield, but other than my own, I love Tucker, Cutchen, Conforto.
Or Pham.
And Pham. Yeah. He's got Pham in the utility. He's going to bounce him around. But those four right there are a really nice like core to your lineup. The Seattle pitching is strong. He's got Bauer. He's got Lance Lynn. He's got Blake Snell. He's got Wainwright. He's got Loizaga, as a long kind of relief man, inning eater. He's also got Kershaw. He's got Adrian Morejon. He's got more starts than he knows what to do with on a regular week. On this week, he's going to have 11. On a regular week, he's got 7. He might run into a too much of a good thing problem. But for this.
And this is kind of a good time. I asked Duke about this, and I think it's been put, but out in public is, how in some scoring leagues you can manipulate the starts.
Where you go over intentionally on the last day of the matchup? Yeah.
And that he will not allow that. If you go over.
Yeah, I don't in my leagues. It's like any start after that, they don't count at all. Like you get nothing. Yeah. I had imposed a harsher rule in the past of mine. Like if you go over, I'm taking all your pitching numbers away for the week because it had happened before and I'd have to remind guys and go in and fix it. It's like you all know better. You all know. Keep track of your starts. You're doing it. If I really think, it was just a mistake, like I couldn't change my lineup and I didn't get to take this guy out, whatever, like case by case basis. But yeah, he's going to run into a too much of a rich man's problem. He's going to have too much money. He's first world issues,
Yes,
but it's a good problem to have.
Well, and when starts.
Sorry, man. It's already so fun. I'm trying to rip through this. I'm You can put them in the chimney.
Yeah, that's
so some shit under there and
chimney. You can open up some card packs on camera.
Non-machine. Oh, thanks, Linda Flinner. I got some baseball cards from eBay.
Hey.
Yeah. Seth got me. Speaking of the Mariners, Seth got me on cards. It's like I start this thing up and then I look and it's fucking 7:00.
You told me it was going to be at least 2 hours. I'm like, okay.
Well, and then I tried to say I'm going to try to make it under 2, but now, I got touchdown Tony here with me. I got trade maniac Tony. Give me the Mariners. It's a good matchup with that pitching. Give me the fucking Mariners, man. You can't. Snell, Lynn, Bauer, Kershaw. Give me the Mariners. They got to be probably the preseason favorite to win it all. Just looking at the teams we've been looking at, the Mariners, the White Sox, those guys are going to make the AL. Man, the White Sox, the Astros, the Mariners, the Tigers, the Yankees, a lot of strong teams in the AL.
Yes.
But man, there's strong teams everywhere. The Pods are strong. The Pirates are strong. The Cardinals are strong. The Dodgers are strong. I think I'm strong-ish.
Who was that one team we looked at that we said once they get healthy in a month or two?
The D-backs.
Yeah.
The D-backs with that pitching, with Severino and Sale and I don't even
But they had a whole bunch of just like.
Yeah, this is a tough league, man. This league hasn't even started yet. I love this league. Who do we have left? Is there any pivotal matchups that we didn't cover. I know we didn't like get to the Angels, but I think we covered him in the matchups that he's like like going through the process. Angels, Cardinals, Angels, Nats. We did. I think that might be everybody.
Yeah.
Did we get all the Rangers? I think we did. Yeah, he only had 2.
You don't know how many of them have doubles or singles.
Right. Yeah. We'll get. Like I told Blue Jay Mark earlier that I'd like to have him. I'd like him to come on. And now that I got StreamYard figured out, because when he came on for the breakdown earlier, it was like through the phone and it wasn't all that great. Like the sound quality wasn't great. So I'd like to get into a habit of like doing a matchup preview, maybe like a Saturday night or even Sunday. I mean, Sunday guys are doing waivers, so maybe that's not a great idea. Maybe Saturday night. Or geez, if I could get somebody to come on with me like Monday morning or something, do the matchup recap or the matchup preview. Try to get
Monday morning I could commit to.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, Monday morning
I'm usually pretty decent on the mornings from like 9 to 11:30. I'm like usually pretty open. But at the same time, we might be making DFS lineups at the same time.
That'd be like 10 to 12:30. Because you're talking mountain time, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, this was 3 hours. Like it's not. I'm not going to do 3 hours every Sunday of like getting ready for matchups. But it's week 1. I'm excited about the week. You're excited about the season. We're all excited. So my wife's not going to kill me. That's good. But yeah, man, I'm hyped for week 1. What do you think? How do you think you weren't here when we did the Marlins. How do you think you're going to do?
I was watching though.
Yeah. How do you agree? Like, what do you think?
I agree with your assessment. Like but we discussed it before. Mine is I want to be death by 1,000 paper cuts.
Right.
I'm not going to look as amazing now. No.
Especially with a couple of guys. I mean, Kingery not being there has got to really hurt. Like, you pried him away from Duke, right? Like he was he was like the guy that you were going for in that deal, and it was like going to be a centerpiece. Yeah. So it's like, it's not quite Victor Robles getting sent down, but it is. He had the nice multi-position. Yeah, nice multi-position. It was supposed to be, and it's kind of weird. They said they gave him the contract already. They gave it to him 2 years ago. It's like if the Mariners sent down Evan White or something, or the White Sox send down Luba. Like, you're already paying the guy. Let him learn in the big leagues. They must really not have faith in Kingery right now. He must have a big hole in his swing.
The only things that I worry about is he did have that, drop off, and then he had COVID.
He had the COVID, yeah.
And we don't know. Everyone's body's different. Like, because Freeman had COVID.
Yeah, it was asymptomatic and was, MVP caliber, but Moncada had it, and he said, I felt like my strength wasn't there. Like, I got zapped early. Kind of like John Lester was saying, but he had the thyroid thing.
Yeah.
He had his thyroid removed. He was saying he was tired before games even started. Lester was.
So you don't know what the residual effects are.
Right.
It could be something where we don't know. These pro athletes and even college athletes. I'll give an example close to me because I'm an Iowa basketball fan. After they lost to Oregon, 3 of their starters were playing through. One of them was playing through 2 torn labrums in his hip. Both labrums torn. Okay? The other one had like a bad knee or 2. And the other one had just said, I had plantar fasciitis all year and I just played through. So,
damn.
These athletes, and that's a college level. Now
that's what you do for the tournament, though. Yeah, that's what you do for the tournament.
But now we're talking MLB athletes, which is a completely different caliber than a college basketball player. These guys aren't going to say they're in. Some of them aren't. They just don't have enough. They're too prideful.
Yeah, the pride and all that stuff. Yeah, they want to go out there.
I'm better than everybody else. I can do this. I don't need both labrums in my hips. I play through. You just wonder how many of these guys play through some of this stuff, and you don't know.
The torn hip labrum that doesn't get fixed without surgery. Like that's not you can't rest that away. Like we got in a car accident, and that's exactly what happened. My wife, her leg got jammed up in her hip, and it tore hip labrum. And they said and she hasn't had the surgery because she doesn't want it. It's it's expensive and shit. But they said it's chronic. You can live with it, you can walk around, but it's going to hurt pretty much all the time, and it doesn't get fixed on its own. It's for a basketball player, I can't even imagine running up and down the court and jumping and landing.
lateral movement.
Yeah, I can't even imagine, man. It hurts her getting out of bed sometimes. I can't imagine that shit. Ugh.
And this is also a kid who we're talking about is our coach's son, and he's a D1 baseball player too. So just imagine, like, I'm just saying, like, that's the confidence level of this kid is he's not going to say he's injured.
Right, I can play through it. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Boy. All right, man. Well, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for emergency coming on when we got the bad audio with the pods there, because man,
it'll be interesting once hopefully by tomorrow Trax and all these other providers get this IL stuff, and it happens every year. Sure. I'm not, it just sucks every year. Just like we keep forgetting we live through this every year. Yeah.
Everybody, oh man, what am I gonna do? It's like, man, it's always like this, It just it's the thing is, if it's like it for you, it's like it for the other guys too. Like maybe they don't have the injuries or whatever, but we're all playing on the same playing field. That's the beauty of the grind, of the 6-month everyday grind. It separates the wheat from the chaff,
Yep. Oh yeah.
But I am finally going to get my fucking grill going.
Sounds good.
Thank you for coming on. We'll do it again. Thanks anybody that watched for even any of this. We'll streamline it. We'll get this figured out. We got a lot of weeks to go.
Still working with it.
We got a lot of weeks to try it. So thanks again, man, and good luck in week 1.
You too, bud. Bye.
All right, thanks.